Who the heck is PepTalks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. PepTalks. 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 Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. PepTalks. PepTalks.
Who the heck is PepTalk?
They want our women. They want our children.
PepTalks.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the
PepTalks.
Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
PepTalks.
I'm literally coming. I'm literally coming.
PepTalks.
We found weapons of mass
PepTalks.
destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from PepTalks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of High on Politics. I'm your host, Pep. It's always good to see y'all. Hope you are having a great day. Hope you guys are kind of feeling the positive energies going around. No, sorry. I'm not that type of hippie show. I mean, I'm definitely a hippie show, but how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. I actually kind of rushed down here. It's even a miracle that I was able to start on time. Yeah, things were a little bit loosey-goosey here because I was a little bit late getting back from my dentist appointment, but look at these pearly whites. Yeah, looking good. No notes. That's always nice. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. He said zeros all around, except there's one that's probably going to be an issue in about a year or so. Like, I got a feeling that's getting a little worn down. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But how's it going, Ravy? I hope you're doing well. Rebecca, hope you're doing well. Natch, what up? Hope you're doing well as well. And so many wells. And how's it going, Robin? Look at you checking over on Twitch. You liking the Twitch the interface? Is that what's going on? Like, you like the fact that you can kind of spin it and get the vertical and horizontal stream? Because I gotta say that's one of the coolest features that they have over there. Yeah, hey, thank you for popping on in. As you guys do, pop on into the stream here. If you could do me that solid and hit the like button, double tap the screen, all that fun stuff. Also, check it out. We got a new little pin. Actually, here, check this out. Yeah, got a little bit of bad hair day today, but let's see. Can we get the Latino heat? For anybody that is even a passive wrestling fan, this is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. That is the late great Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace, Latino heat. For real, he was like one of my favorite wrestlers to ever touch the canvas. He was insanely good at what he did, but his gimmick was the best. He was so funny. And yeah, the fact that they had a little hot sauce bottle. Oh, come on. Like, how could I not? So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of it. What can I say? I also like it. I'm a sucker for like a good like pin. Whenever I find a good pin, I'm happy about that. This is definitely the cool table. It is, yes, very much the cool table of YouTube. Now, you don't have to go and flaunt it too much. You don't have to make them feel like they're, left out. Come on now. We want to make everybody feel included. So that includes anybody that is hanging out in the horizontal stream. Fred, I see you. How's it going, Fred? Thank you for popping in. You want to be an honorary Aussie?
I asked Rebecca and Ravy if I could be, and they said yes, so I could be a cool kid.
Oh, well, I mean, can you do your up spike? Sure. Sure, she says. What have you done to my wife? I don't like this. Too many changes right off the bat here. We're not even 10 minutes into the stream, and now my wife is a cool kid, adopted by the nation of Australia, and oh man, it's like the evolution's already taking hold. Oh no. Ravy, I'm blaming you, and Rebecca, yeah, I think you guys share equal blame on this one. Yeah, how's it going, guys? Also, hey, look at that. She brought me a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee in the big time. Talking on some streams. Yeah. Doing a little politics here with the PepTalks. Yeah. Anyway, she's gonna go by Sheila. Oh, yeah, that's my Sheila. Or wait, Sheila is just like just a lady, right? So, oh, the Sheila over there. Yeah, it's my wife. There we go. Am I getting it? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just realized that you adopted her and left me. I see how it is. This is ridiculous. I make fun of the Australian accent one too many times, and all of a sudden, I guess I get left here ashore on ye ol' America. Yuck. Nah, come on, America, rah rah, woohoo! America rules. See, I'm wearing red, white, or red, white, and blue. Everyone is welcome. Hey, cool. Arnar. No, we're not starting the stream off like that. I'm sorry. I can't sit there focusing on how you guys say nar. Like, what? It's happening. It's literally happening organically where I'm just like, no, but you guys do say no, like, very, very odd. I don't understand how N-O turned into nar. Is it just... I don't want to be, like, insulting, because we know that. I got my own little accent over here. No! Is that literally, like, how you would spell it? So, like, in your Darth Vader memes, it's no! Arse is awesome. Okay, I will give you Arse. Arse is one of, like, the better ones that you guys, you have. I'm actually gonna say, out of like the English, you know, with the little bit of a, you know, I guess European twang or whatever the fuck you're gonna call this, you guys got the best one. You really did. England is like, let's see, if I had to equate it to like America, England is kind of like no, you guys are like California. You kind of sound cool. It's I actually like it. It's really cool. Like, totally. Then I would say England's more like New York, where it's like, hey, we're in New York over here. We're in London over here. And then you got the South Africaners that, I'm sorry, I'm about to really rip on you, but you have no identity. So, like, you sit there in the middle just like, oi, we sound like Australians, but we're not quite Australians. We're South Africaners. We say zebra. Am I getting this right? Am I far off? I don't know. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be insulting to anybody. I don't want to I don't want to get this wrong. But I dub Star Wars. I'll dub Star Wars for you. Now that would be hilarious. Oi, is this R2D2? C3PO's a cunt. Beep boop, bitch. Why are you being such a cunt? Oi, I'm going this way. You going that way? Oh, well, you better have yourself a fucking good time. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go, piss off. Piss off, you fucking golden dildo. What's up with that? Oh my god, is that a little kangaroo? Oh shit. Oh shit, this thing is electrocuting me. Oh, beep boop. All right, R2D2 calling C3PO a cunt in in an Australian accent is actually pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. Oi! I've been hanging out with this wanker over here for way too fucking long. I'm waiting for my ride off this planet where I don't have to see this fucking golden dildo. Wait, you guys call them dildos, right? Or do you guys like have some funny name for dildos too? Call them like wobbly woos or some shit like that. Oi, can you go get me wobbly woo? I need to get off over here. I am being so disrespectful to the nation of Australia. PepTalks is sorry. Oh, fuck. Well, this has been a heck of a start. Welcome to PepTalks, guys. Seriously, this is welcome to PepTalks. This is the show. This is how it goes. It was so funny, man. So my dentist, I forgot that, like, while I was under anesthesia, or like not anesthesia, like it's not even called Twilight, is it? Because like I I just got the laughing gas, and I got a little, like, loopy. And I guess I told him that I did, like, a political podcast, and I do not remember saying anything about what I did. And he's just like, so how's the podcast going? So immediately I kind of went, good. Yeah. He's like, you focus on, like, you know, just, you just kind of talk, right? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I do. I do, you know, a little bit of news here. I'll talk some politics because, you know, that kind of comes up, and I'm trying to speed over the politics part because I'm just like, I know that we don't agree. I know that you're like, I've literally seen the Trump sticker on a car outside, and it turns out it was totally his car. I've had the same dentist for a long ass time though. I will not see another dentist until he retires. This is where I draw the line. It's like, no, I have a good dentist. But yeah, he asked me like, how is it going? And just, yeah, what do we really cover? And I just I didn't want to say, like, I cover mostly politics. Like, I didn't want to say it's called High on Politics. So I was like, I just do like a comedy podcast that we focus on really just random stuff. Like one day we'll talk about pooping habits. And he was just like, oh, okay. That moved the conversation along pretty fast. Meanwhile, his assistant's sitting there laughing. I was just like, all right, this is fun. Yeah, teeth look good though. That one is me. Or wait, at least you didn't talk trash about Miami multiple times. Yeah, my wife. It was so funny when she went under. We didn't think anything of it, and they come back and they're just like, "What's your wife either needs to stay very far away from Miami, or she needs to go to Miami like tomorrow." And I was like, what? They're like, when she was going under, we told her to think of a place, and like, I guess she got mad, and she's like, I've never been on vacation to Miami, or like, I've never been to Miami. And like, I guess she took that with her, and like to the when she had to go under again, they were literally like, so what's up with this? Your wife has something against Miami. It was funny. 2 for 3. Yeah, 2 for 3 talking shit to Miami. I love some fascism, but poop, that's where I draw the line. Yep. I'm sorry. Well, I'll miss you. I will miss you. Just kidding. I start falling in love with everyone when I'm under. It's so bad. You're just like, I love you so much. Like, literally, can you, like, just, I don't know, can we date? they're just like, it's okay, you have pretty eyes. I just start fucking passing out. Just human. Yeah, you were saying that yesterday. You say the same stuff a lot. Christopher Wick, how's it going? Trump sold us out for Epstein. I mean, dude, today, if they, like, anybody on the House that votes in favor of merging our military with Israel's, yeah, they're treason. Like, that's treason, dude. And, like, that's not hyperbole. That's fucking treason. They're selling us out to a foreign nation, and I'm pretty sure that is, yeah, that's something that should really get a lot of everybody upset. And I mean Republicans, Democrats, I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. If you're American, this should really get your goat. But that's not how it's going to go. Evangelicals think that this is very necessary. You know, they've been sold this bill of goods by the Republican Party. Republicans are going to fucking vote for it, so yay! Don't worry, not even billionaires have homes in Miami. Wait, that have homes in Miami live there? Yeah, true. I'm not like other guys. I'm liberal. I don't put drugs in girls' drinks. My name is not Brad or Chad. I'm a liberal. What can I say? I'm not like other guys. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that shit is kind of gross. You can just be like, yeah, I've been a piece of shit sometimes. But realistically, I still respect women's, their sovereignty, and overall, their choices in life. I think that is pretty solid. Also, trans rights. cute how liberals are think we are fusing our militaries, and that's not how it's going. It's our funding. No, this is just so there's no vote funding. No, dude, fuck you. If you're America first, fuck you. Like, this is where I'm gonna just say it. You know what? I'm gonna start the show off with a Republican, a guy that's like as right-wing as you get. He has served his country many times over. So you know what? You're gonna tell me that this guy's entirely wrong about this because, you know, he's actually read the Constitution. He served he actually cared about the Constitution enough to read it and then served his country. And then he never wavered on that end, you know? He even said, he's like, yeah, I believed that Trump was America first, and I got duped. Like, he's one of those guys. You guys know who I'm talking about. Valhalla VFT. But for real, guys, like, if this is how it's gonna go, then fuck them. This is where this is where every Trump, or MAGA head, or I don't even know what to call you guys anymore, like Trumper. Everybody that's from MAGA should be very upset about this, but nah. You guys, you got to focus on, you know, liberals and trans and sports or whatever the fuck. And then sit there going like, no, but Israel's based, you know, America first, except for Israel. How about this? How about we get rid of Israel's sovereignty? And how about we take away their free health care and we give that to us. We also make them the 51st state. Why don't we just do that? Why does it need to be a fucking Jewish nation? What is this weird thing where we need to keep Israel Jewish? That's a little weird, isn't it? I mean, we wouldn't accept that from, you know, anybody else. We wouldn't accept that from some Muslims. So why all of a sudden, you know, does there need to be this fucking Jewish state? Kind of weird, huh? Well, here we go. Ooh, blue raspberry. What?
Because you might be thinking, well, Nate, even if it was under the Pentagon, we would be able to see how much money we're sending them, right? Well, let me turn your attention to this. For those of you who don't know, the Pentagon has failed 8 consecutive audits in a row. Yes, it has failed every single audit it has had since 2018. The point being there is nobody in America has any idea where any of the money is going that the Pentagon is spending.
Right. There you go. Unlimited budget for the Pentagon.
Because when they get audited, they just go, whoopsie, we lost the money. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today is
lame ass fucking AI
the day where we find out if America will remain a sovereign nation.
What up, Ron? How's it going?
I don't mean that sarcastically. I'm not being hyperbolic. We are literally going to find out that later today, as the House is about to vote on officially the NDAA. And
so, am I mistaken? I thought that the Senate already knocked this down.
You don't know what that is. It's the bill that's going to merge the American military and intelligence apparatuses with our greatest allies. Yes, the IDF. Because, wow, that's not the most treasonous thing that's ever happened in America.
The Senate moved to block the procedural vote to move forward with the NDAA. Fell short 50 to 46, failing to reach the 60 vote threshold. The legislation, which outlines military activities, defense spending, and blah, 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 and merges the Israel.
American politics, literally.
So the House is, okay. So this is more procedural. This doesn't mean that it's actually going to fucking go anywhere because it's already failed in the Senate. And I have to send it back to the Senate to get voted on again, right?
Again, this is probably the most important thing that's ever been voted on in American Congress. At least in
this is a new video. I checked, man.
Recent modern history. Now, I'm sure YouTube is going to suppress
Bot Studios. Interesting. Goat
this video because the media doesn't want anyone talking about this. They want it to just slide under the radar.
They just failed to remove the provisions.
The American people don't pay attention to it. But I wanted to put this video out ahead of time so as many people as possible are paying attention to this, because they're supposed to start voting on this in just
it seems that
a few hours, and everyone should be watching this in America.
I don't know here.
So that's what we're going to talk about today's video. We're going to talk about what all this means. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some America First, America Only merch.
Also, hello, Bot Studios. Hell of a name.
Summer. Okay, we're going to jump into it. Let's talk about it. And again, I am going to cover the results of this later. I have to go in town for a little bit right after this. But if the voting hasn't started yet when I get back, I'm going to live stream this. If it's already happened, I'll put out another video later today letting us know if our country is utterly fucked or not.
I mean, it seems like it is. This is the update. House passes defense authorization bill on largely party line vote. House passed H.R. 880 or 8800 and national defense, largely party lines. Bill authorizes defense programs and policies for the coming fiscal year and advances one of Congress's annual must-pass national security measures. Republicans overwhelmingly back the legislation at the passage. Don't care. Most Democrats oppose the measure. Only 5 voting in favor. So who voted in favor? Don Davis, Jared Golden, Adam Gray, and Vicente Gonzalez. The lone Republican who opposed was Thomas Massey. Partisan perspectives, don't care. Political stakes. House passage sends the legislation to the Senate, where lawmakers will consider their own version of the NDAA before negotiating a final conference agreement. Okay, yeah, so this is it's literally going back to the Senate, but this doesn't negate the fact that these guys did vote on something that could be literally, like legally, brought back to them as treasonous.
And I have a bad feeling it probably will be. Yeah. So let's actually talk about what this actually is.
Attempting to merge the U.S. military with the IDF to pass a law that makes it impossible to disentangle, a law that basically funnels military aid to the Israeli military from the United States without any vote. And so it's very stealthy, it's clever, it's completely evil. And there's been very little attention paid to it because the American media is 100% behind it.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that like guys like Tucker Carlson are getting buried on this one too is
no one
it's a little disconcerting, man.
Can withdraw from it, or else it would be a federal
because that's telling us like, oh no, no, like this is, you want to talk about the power structure, the 2-party power structure that's like fucking us. This is them doing that.
Example of treason that I can think of. That is selling out your country.
So like Tucker said there, it's treason. That's exactly what this is. The great part about this is all of these congressmen are going to go on the record with this vote. And by voting on this, this will be treason. It will be sedition. And I hope they all know that. It's never going away. We're going to know who you are forever, and we're not going to forget. Now, I'll explain why this is happening, because as Tucker said there, it's very stealthy, it's very clever, and I'll explain multiple reasons for why they're doing this. But let's talk about what actually happened yesterday. Now, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, of course, the only congressman who seem to give a shit about anything that actually is good for America, tried to block this from going through. And then we saw yesterday, as Thomas Massey says here, unfortunately, the rule passed just now, and no debate or vote was allowed on Section 219, integration of U.S. military technology and supply chains with our
not sedition, treason, maybe, yeah.
Ally. The NDAA will receive a recorded vote tomorrow with Section 219 in it. I will vote no. Well, at least he will, because every other fucking Republican's going to vote yes. As he then says, while Americans are focused on other things like how to make ends meet in the face of rapidly rising costs of living, tomorrow the House will vote to merge our military technology and supply chains with our greatest ally. Our founders would be appalled at what Congress is doing right now. And it turns out, yes, they would. Because doesn't say anywhere in the Constitution that we're supposed to be merging our militaries with any other foreign country. And he would be absolutely rolling in his grave right now. All right, and Ro Khanna put out a video last night talking about exactly this.
Massey and I have been fighting to stop the integration of our military with Israel's military. It's shocking that this even has to be explained. It's about American sovereignty. Yet yesterday, the Rules Committee found that Thomas Massey's amendment couldn't even get a vote in the House of Representatives. We do not even have the chance to vote in the House to stop Israel and the United States from co-producing weapons. We need to now fight to strip
how much more transparent can they be that they want to like just bury this
and the Senate?
So now, why are they doing this? Let me give you the real reasons, okay, for whatever bullshit reason they're trying to give you, which they're actually not even trying to give any reasons at all. They're just trying to slide this through stealthily so the American people won't notice that it even happened, and again, won't even allow votes on dissent for it. So that's how you know, yeah, it's probably pretty treasonous. And really what they want to do here by this integration between both the intelligence apparatuses and the military. So What they really want to do here, this is all about funding, right? So you've seen Uncle BB out there talking about how he wants to completely decouple U.S. aid from our greatest ally, right? No more funding. Israel's going to stand on its own. Well, at the same time, they're doing this because what this will do is it'll make it so Congress doesn't have to budget and show the American people how much money we are sending them every year. What they'll do is just conveniently slide this into the Pentagon's budget. And why is that so great?
And then,
because then the American people
we
will
won't
never
see
know
anything
again
about it
how
because,
much
their
money is
audits keep
actually
getting
being sent to them. And I'll show you why. Because you might be thinking, well, Nate, even if it was under the Pentagon, well, we would be able to see how much money we're sending them, right? Well, let me turn your attention to this. For those of you who don't know, the Pentagon has failed 8 consecutive audits in a row. Yes, it has failed every single audit it has had since 2018. The point being there is nobody in America has any idea where any of the money is going that the Pentagon is spending, because when they get audited, they just go, whoopsie, we lost the money. So that's the entire purpose of this. The second point is the intelligence apparatus combining. And why do they really want to do that? Well, it'll give our greatest ally access to, oh, that's right, all of your information, everything that the American government knows about you through its intelligence apparatuses, our greatest ally will now have access to as well. Now, that sounds like a great thing. Why would they need that? Why would they possibly need that or want that? I don't know. I'll let you speculate on that yourself, but probably not for any good reasons, I'd have to bet. Now, the reason why I'm trying to put optics on this with my platform ahead of time, and I hope every other social media creator does as well, is again, the mainstream media is not saying a word about this. And while Marjorie Taylor Greene,
like, I'm just going to say, like, the fact that MSNBC is just like, nah,
says that,
or MS Now or whatever the fuck they're called.
The upcoming NDA vote will be the most watched.
It's so weird where MTG and Tucker Carlson, like, I hate the fact that, yes, they're bad faith. Yes, they definitely have a grift going, but they're not wrong about this.
In modern times, and that it will list every member of Congress who betrayed America. Now, I wish this was actually true, but again, the regular American masses have no idea this is even happening. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, none of them are talking about this. So it's really only people that are already ingesting independent media who are paying
Robin,
attention.
Thank you for resubscribing. I really appreciate that.
And who are actually probably going to see this, although I do agree with her that this will
Man,
list and document every traitor to the United States that's in our politics. But it's also the big social media companies, yes, YouTube and X. And what I decided to do is just open up X.
And I have to say, this was really smart of him to do. I didn't even think about doing this, where he went and he just did a blank slate Twitter, and I haven't even thought to do that. Like, that's a simple one. If you want to see a pretty much like untainted algorithm, that's the best way to do it, where it's just like, okay, start from ground zero.
Today in a blank account.
To the host, your wife really has cancer. Well, I mean, you could say that she had cancer because she is post-surgery. She is 0.0 for her last blood test, so we can officially say she is cancer-free, but she is recovering.
Count just to see what the basic algorithm is going to push people right now, and you would think this is the biggest news in America and American politics, and again, probably the last 50 to 60 years. You'd think this would be everywhere. Let's see what happens when I pulled up X. All right, just a blank account, as you see here, says set up your profile. But what is the algorithm going to feed you right now? Okay, first thing, Andrew Tate, got it. Here's some ads. Next thing, Andrew Tate, got it. Andrew Tate, got it. Oh, here's Trump with a body double. Yeah, okay, slop, slop, slop. Andrew Tate, Trump with a body double. Not a single poster mention on the feed that they're algorithmically pushing everybody about this on X. Elon, why aren't you showing anybody this? That's very, very interesting. It's all, again, Andrew Tate slob, Donald Trump body doubles. Serious issues like this, nowhere to be found, even on Elon's pro-America platform.
Yeah.
Weird. Now, let me be clear. This is not just a specifically Israel thing. I don't care what.
But that's for the, like, okay, you want my conspiracy theory? Trump got together with Elon and all the fucking billionaires, the elites, the globalists, you know, the ones that Alex Jones has been crowing about for so long. He actually got together with them and said, all right, guys, here's the deal. I got what I wanted. I'm not going to jail. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the next 4 years. Holy fucking shit. Thank you? here for a moment
At here
for the
underscore
very
for
kind
underscoring underscore moment,
$300
$300.
donation.
Amazing. I hope you two have fun.
Oh, thank you. Holy crap. Ain't the only ones. What about the billions of the Democrats to fund social programs outside the U.S.? I mean, we could talk about that, but damn, dude. Thank you kindly for the $300 donation. Wow, that goes a long way, guys. Thank you so much again from somebody that apparently doesn't even politically agree with me. That's kind of crazy. Actually, like I bias, but no, I kind of respect that. It's weird, but damn, you and your wife deserve that, man. Thank you, Ron. I really appreciate that. Go look up Education is Power. I mean, weird how the NatSoc post didn't show up. Oh shit, did they not? Yeah, I mean, I'll just say this much: YouTube has been having some shenanigans lately. Yeah, but here, let's finish this and then we'll address this. Damn, dude, thank you.
Country this is. It could be literally any country, any of our allies. This could be Britain, Australia, Japan, Canada. We have
and the fact is, we're literally talking about the possibility of invading Canada again. I mean, it's Trump just being Trump. He does a lot of that where he's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe we'll just take Canada. Maybe I'll take Greenland. Maybe I'll just take the whole goddamn world. I don't know. I'm fucking crazy. Don't test me, bitch.
Business merging our militaries and intelligence apparatuses with another foreign country. And
God, I hate to say it, it'd probably be easier like to tolerate if he did just say that. Like, I'm Donald Trump, bitch. What you gonna do about it?
Here's another big one. That's a big problem with this. We're talking about the means of production for military equipment. One of the big things we know about our greatest ally is that they steal American military intelligence and R&D, and they sell it to other countries. So now what we're giving them is all of our technology, all of our highest level technology, and they can feel free to use that or sell it off to Russia, who they're also close with, if you didn't know. And why is that a big deal? Oh, okay, well now, potentially future wars, the United States military is going to have to fight against its own high-level technology and equipment because, oh, I don't know, we just gave it away. You also don't do this because you never know which country who is currently your ally, maybe 40 years from now, won't be your ally anymore.
Right.
I don't know if you look at a country like Japan, we have a very close
U.S. citizen. Thank you for subscribing. Also, James Savage, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that.
Look at our back history there. Britain, yeah, that's an ally.
Great impression,
Didn't we fight
bud.
the Revolutionary War against them? You see how this works? Why would you merge your militaries with another foreign country when you could potentially be at war with that country later? It doesn't make any sense. And again, it's just ending Americans.
Very generous for someone who's against social programs. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little confused.
And unfortunately, guys, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think this is going to pass and it's going to go through.
But,
it's going to be an abject can of worms disaster going forward for the United States and the rest of the world, especially the Middle East. So I'm going to cut it there. Again, the vote is today. We are going to find out later today, again, if we are going to continue to be a sovereign nation or
it's not confusing. They believe in charity.
We have completely sold this country out. So check in with me in a couple hours. We'll find out together. It's going to do it for this one.
All right. And like I said, we did just find out that it did pass the House. It's going to the Senate. Like, this is now a done deal. He was wrong about I'm glad that you pointed that out, Sylvie. He was wrong about the sedition part. Which, yeah, kind of not the biggest mistake, but still. It's not that confusing. I mean, listen, the most confusing part is the fact that I'm like, I think you catch the vibe that we probably don't politically agree. Which, fine. That's kind of part of my thing here, where we don't have to. It's actually kind of the thing with the David Pakman and like the Hassan stuff that's going on right now. It is just like Pakman is wrong. And he's doing this weird thing where he's like, he doesn't want to identify as a centrist, but he's also like, you know, I want the social democrats to like pivot even more to the center and away from Hassan. Like at this point, I was listening to this on my way home, and in my car, I probably, you know, I had a moment where I kind of forgot, you know, not on stream. I shouted, like, I'm in traffic, and I'm just like, oh, God damn it, are we really fucking doing this? I was just like, God, why now? Why can't we agree to disagree on shit? Like, Pac-Man literally is talking about how he agrees with most of this, like, the Democratic Socialist platform, and then he was kind of misappropriating the whole, like, communist side of things to the DSA platform, and I was like, why are you doing this? Why? What you literally just, you just listed this whole thing that we all agree on. Like, I think that even this guy, and I think that a lot of the Republicans and a lot of the MAGA, like, people can all agree social programs are good. You just have to tell them which ones are actually social programs. Because he actually made that point at one point where it's just like, yeah, the fire department, police department, like the one I've been making for a long time here, where I'm just like, okay, so you don't like socialism. So you're telling me that you would rather have private enterprises controlling the fire department and the police department and public schools, which, I'm guessing you're a libertarian. Are you a libertarian? Actually, I didn't even ask. I probably should have. I believe in social programs to an extent, however, not without third-party oversight. More importantly, these programs should not be foundations of stability, but that's not beneficial to people. It's not about foundations of stability. It's about, like, having something to fall back on, though. Like, you understand that, like, the way that it kind of happens, like, yes, every once in a while you will have somebody that just, like, let's put it let's talk about it like it's a lake. Or an ocean, actually, is a better one. So, in the ocean, you know, you do a lot better when you have bigger boats and, like, cruise ships and shit like that. But every once in a while, you will have that person that's just like, fuck you, I'm gonna ride my little schooner, and then, you know, they usually get taken out by a storm or some shit, but, damn it, I kind of lost the analogy. I'm usually good at the analogy stuff, but, realistically, I think that it's kind of easy to be like, hey, can we just agree that we need more social programs, and we should be able to, like, prop people up that need that, like, boost. Because realistically, where I was going with this is the fact that once they get that boost, they usually will not fall back to it. Like, yes, you're gonna have outliers, but this is just a way to kind of get people back on their feet and become productive members of society. Need a big boat for a big shark. That's what they are for. Being a foundation of stability is what social programs are for. No, I understand what he's saying about it, though. I think, are you talking about it on, like, an individual basis? Because this is where a lot of, like, normies, I guess, for lack of a better fucking term on it, tend to do that thing where they're just like, well, I don't want to pay for somebody to just be a taker, without recognizing the fact that billionaires take everything from us, but whatever. The potholes in my road is the problem. I mean, the potholes in all our roads are the problem. You do understand that the federal government could fucking, like, repave every fucking road and still have a lot of money left over. Like, we waste so much money on our military and all the shit. Like, dude, Pete Hegseth, where did $1 trillion go with this war? Last time I checked, 37-something.2 billion was just spent on the war, but that doesn't equal $1 trillion. Where's the rest of that money? 32 billion. $1 trillion is 100 billion. Where's the rest of these billions of dollars? And why? Why are people falling for this trick where if you ask Pete Hegseth that, or ask the Trump administration that question, somehow you're just a shit lib. Oh my God, you're you're anti-American. You're so anti-American, you don't want to pay for American, military programs? Oh, you anti-patriot. Meanwhile, arguing about, like, funding, Medicare, which does affect us pretty massively. Even in the private sectors, man. People, when they're, like, unhealthy, like, you understand that that's just not good for our society. Just fix us first, bro. I mean, yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice, but we're sending billions of dollars over to Israel. You understand that Israel has really nice roads? You understand that they have really nice infrastructure? You ever seen Tel Aviv? Like, they have futuristic city. They have futuristic fucking modes of transportation. They have healthcare. They don't have to worry about it. Like, and this is all being paid for by us. But meanwhile, here we are arguing with each other about why we can't take care of each other. It's so fucked up. 250 billion sent to Ukraine. When? You do understand that Trump just signed another package for them after withholding it for so long, because now he's banking on Ukraine actually winning. Funny enough. But yeah, that 250 billion, because I remember that one from Biden where it's just like, yeah, he spent so much on Ukraine. It's like, yeah, because that's how you do things when you you have an ally, right? So, for instance, you make a handshake deal with one of your friends, right? You want them to honor that handshake deal, right? On their end. And then if you're a good person, you'll honor it on your end. Now, here's the difference. You got a lot of people that do handshake deals knowing damn well that other person was the sucker, and they have no intention on actually going through with it. That's where we're at right now, is those people are the ones actually running our nation. You should be okay with Ukraine being protected with Russia fucking trying to take their land, dude. Like, you would want Ukraine, or you would want our allies to come to our aid if some fucking weird shit like that happened. If Canada all of a sudden started acting a fool. So we allied with Ukraine, but not Israel? I mean, we did. Listen, right now, what I'm saying is, this is going to sound like an asshole thing, but if not funding Israel means not funding Ukraine right now, fine. I'm fine with that, because Ukraine does have other means to be protected. Like, they do have other deals with the UN. They do have they've been getting by. The thing is, ironically, they've been doing better on their lines and in their battles than when they had our money and had our support. You do understand that they kind of got desperate, and then yeah, it's a little weird though. Yeah, I haven't thought about it really, but yeah. It's kind of weird. Ukraine actually started doing better when they didn't have our money. Huh. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't be in the American spirit to back Ukraine and Palestinians, since our national myth is built around fighting for liberty. I mean, we understand it. We literally sit here, talking about our founding fathers. You do understand that they were actually, they were seditious rebels against the crown, right? And that they committed heinous crimes to get what they wanted. And also, they were also massive pieces of shit. But then again, the timing, in the context of 2026, yeah, it's easy to say that. That's what they have always been like. I'm like, yeah, yes, they are. We can definitely say that. But if we do that thing where it's just how come nobody said anything back then? It's because they were all doing the same thing, bro. You have to recognize that the times were a little bit different. It's not an excuse, because I always hated that shit when my grandma would say some fucking just overtly racist shit, and then my dad would just be like, she comes from another time. I'm like, yeah, well, now's the time to reevaluate that. That shit was wild. Oh wow, we do. Oh hey Anna, what's up? You snuck in here. I didn't even see you. Bloodstone, also, same with you. Palestinians will never be free under Hamas. The thing is, they actually they got together to say that they didn't want Hamas anymore. See, this is where I cover so much news, and we do get to this stuff almost on the daily. But this was about a month ago, where they held a press conference in Gaza, and they were talking about how they didn't want Hamas representation anymore, or they didn't want them they didn't want any association with Hamas, essentially, and they said that they would go back to having an older form of government. But from my understanding, that older form of government wasn't great. This is where I really am just a simpleton on this shit. I'm trying my best though. LeMayo, the framers of the Constitution were billionaires of their time and got pissed about taxes. Yep. Yep, and sacrificed a whole bunch of farmers just for that. I 100% did 2 or 3 years ago. I was defending capitalism like crazy. Then I actually did my research. This is why the U.S. can win any battle, but can never translate that tactical win into a strategic victory. That's a good, well said. Here for a moment, they got pissed about taxes only slightly. Their main thing they were pissed about was the royal government said that they couldn't colonize past the Appalachian Mountains. How come it's always okay? Why? Maybe that's true, but how come it's like, dude? I have studied that specific war, right? And not just high school. Like I actually like watched some documentaries and did my own research. And I never heard that. I never heard about them not like being able to expand past the Appalachians being the reason that they fucking overthrew, did the Boston Tea Party. But I don't know, man. Pep, it's in Gerald Horne's book, The Counter-Revolution of 1776. Why is it only in his book? I mean, I'm actually, like, genuinely wondering, why is it only in, like, I hate that shit. How come there's, like, I like having information that comes from multiple sources on, historical shit like that. Flint Dibble, you can actually blame Flint Dibble on that one. He's the one that kind of made me go, like, okay. When it comes to archaeology, it's very easy to just take one book and be like, hey, look, this one proves that Noah's Ark is true. But then you can go and do you can go and ask, the overall community, and then they will debunk that quickly. So I'm pretty sure it's not only that book. Okay, here. I mean, I do want to know about this, so you got me. Let's see. Revolutionary War. Let's see. Is there any validity to the claim that the American Revolution was precipitated by the British Crown demanding that their colonists halt the western expansion and leave the land? Flails comment elsewhere, this was a large part of it, but it would be wrong to say it was the biggest reason. The Americans supported the revolution. Biggest reason is still the Coercive Act and the known as the Coercive Acts and Intolerable Acts passed by British Parliament. Going back a bit, the French agreed to a treaty to end the French and Indian War. There was continued warfare between the British Americans and Native American nations. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. Hey, thank you for the homework assignment. You're getting fact check in real time. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, thank you for your donation, but you're being an ignorant asshole. I mean, yeah, you don't go. I will just say this: you don't have to arrogant. I was about to say I actually read it as arrogant. Taxes just weren't as big as we make them out to be. Well, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, though, that was like the major one that pushed it over for like the collective consciousness. And like in Boston, again, that's where people were like, fuck. And what actually caused it was the fact that they did the Boston Massacre. Am I wrong? Like, I'm going with my 6th grade history education on this that I remember, okay? Nothing past it, none of the documentaries, none of it. I'm just gonna go based on like what your public school teaches you. I thought that it was the crown kept expanding, they kept trying to expand power and they kept expanding their taxes, and that was the final fucking straw. But when the Boston Tea Party actually happened, that wasn't what really started it, but then it was the protests that broke out, and then they killed the protesters, and that's what started it. Am I wrong about that? If I'm wrong about that, then I'm okay. Because like I said, it's the elementary way of kind of breaking that down. I'm sure glad I don't live in any other country. No, you're not, but your mods are factually inaccurate and have a hard time detailing the facts. Australia is pretty good. Sorry, dude, you're not as knowledgeable as you think you are. The thing is, I missed a lot of what you guys were talking about. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here also trying to educate myself, where I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm curious about this. Hold on. I was in a chat with some moron trying to explain to him that capitalism wasn't the same thing as commerce, and he just doesn't get it. Well, that doesn't surprise me, because look at the way that sovereign citizens treat commerce. Also, what up, Latina Mafune? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Jesus fucking Christ, what?
At here _for_ moment cat $200.
Thank you for the very kind $200 donation. What? I hate to say, this is actually like the weirdest flex I've ever seen. Like, this isn't funny like the way that Kirk did it. This is more like, what the hell? Like, huh. Well, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you for the very kind. Money from a dick is still money. I don't know what to say. That's honestly, I mean, fuck, dude, I'm gonna just say this much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Later, let me know when you want someone intelligent on. I mean, thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out the stream. I mean, I think you subscribed. Hey, listen, I'm gonna just say this much. I was not paying attention to the back and forth between you guys. I will also say this. I'm so confused. This is weird. But thank you again. That is crazy. That is 500. Thank you for the very kind $500 donation. What? Okay, guys. Happy for you, Pep. Money from a dick is still money. It seems like you get more financial support from people who are not on your side. I know, it's weird. I mean, I'll be honest, dude. The thing that, I have had people come on here talking about how much money they make, and they're always flexing, and they're always trying to be like, oh yeah, well, I make more money, than you'll see in a lifetime, blah, 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 blah. I'm financially secure, Trump rules. And then I'll challenge them, and I'll just be like, hey, all right, then donate. I usually have the $420 marker where I'm just like, if you donate $420 right now, I'll shut the fuck up. But I didn't even get to do that. It's just like, okay. I mean, I hope you understand how much you helped here. Like you said, money's money, I guess, but fucking A. Yeah, I'm literally speechless right now. I don't know how to react to this. To be more clear, the money is for you and your wife, nothing more. I appreciate that. And no, honestly, dude, you're, in all seriousness, it does, it goes a very, very fucking long way. That's why I'm so confused about this. But no, thank you. And also, well, wait, you're not enjoying the program? You're not enjoying, my calm demeanor? I mean, I think I'm pretty chill. Maybe I'm wrong. Damn, this guy fucking, this PepTalks guy thinks a lot of himself. It's like, no. I've been working on that, goddammit. Democrats are selfish. Yes, they are. At least non-refundable. You're right about that. But I mean, are you putting that in the context of trying to say the left is selfish? I hope not. The right wing has money. That is true. Moment, I haven't debated you, but I think my dick's in chat so far. But on behalf of Pep, thank you very much. I like the program. Your mods are a little sensitive. You know what? They help me out a lot, and yeah, you know what? They have. I agree with them on a lot of shit. I disagree with them on a lot of shit. Nothing's a monolith here, man. But like, just can you? I don't know. Like my one like thing is like just I don't know, be more respectful of them, I guess, because they really help out my show, man. Like this is volunteer. And realistically, like I like the back and forth. I kind of, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back and read your chats. That's what's actually gonna have to happen here. I feel like Pep is growing on me. I always love when my hate watchers turn into just watchers. Just weird. I'm sure they do, but they should fact check themselves. You were literally correcting them in real time, which I laughed at, and they got mad. Sensitive? Bloodstone? What do you mean I'm sensitive? I'm not fucking sensitive! Fuck you! What do you mean I'm emotional? I swear to God, I have said those words in that cadence. Oh yeah, you want to see emotional? What about us refundable? Yeah, I was about to say, dude, my chat's pretty cool. I was watching a video about horror games, and there was a MLP horror game. MLP, what's that? I don't know if you're into that or not. I don't know what it is. The algorithm brought me to Pep in wait, the algorithm brought me to Pep in a weird way. I thought that he was a gamer at first and was just going to be the usual, but I have been surprised. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Check you out again. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, seriously, guys. And thank you again for the very kind donation. I have to be... I don't know what else to say. Like, we've been struggling a little bit, so that... Fuck, dude. Like, that really helped. So... Again, sincere thank you. Also, apologies, mods, for just yeah. This is awkward. This is really awkward. Oh man, did he just use the abbreviation MLP? Because if he did, that means My Little Pony. Oh, that's she, by the way. That's Anna. Oh, interesting. I'm not. Yeah, that's not really my thing. So, although they are a thing, man. I've gone to enough Comic-Cons, but to see, like, it was actually kind of funny. Uni, which one were you? Like, you were a my wife was dressed up as a Tokidoki, like, unicorno. Don't ask. And she did, like, her makeup, like, all cute and shit. And, like, this person came up and just started, like, naming off, like, My Little Pony characters, and my wife was just like, who? Who? What? Oh, no. And, like, she had to be like, oh, no. It's kind of funny. Sorry, no, I do know of a horror game. So is it like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of shit? I mean, I could see that. I could see them like making that work. It's the same with like the Five Nights at Freddy's. It's kind of weird. I never got into it. It was a little, past my time. But I'm gonna be real here. As a kid that grew up on Chuck E. Cheese, it's creepy as shit. As someone who has seen the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese band, like, more times than I'd like to admit. I had a lot of birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, those things were creepy though. Those things scared the like, especially Chucky. Like oh my god, he was the creepiest one. He used to like at R1. I think he was broken or something because at one point he used to like move all the way around, but he was obviously stationary. By the like last birthday party I had there, he was just like, "Welcome to Chuck E. Cheese." It's just had one range of motion. It's just like, oh, I don't think they're putting a lot of work into that animatronic. And then all of a sudden, fast forward like 20 something years, my niece is having her birthday party there, and it was funny because like I'm getting a beer and I'm just like, hey, what happened to the animatronic band? They're just like, oh, we have like just a guy in a costume now, we don't do the band anymore. I was just like, oh. Like I was all mad about it. It's like I was expecting dinner and a show. Damn. But they did go do a 5-night or Freddy's My Little Pony before. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I could see that with like all the mods and stuff out there. Smile Video is the first real introduction to how My Little Pony, if anyone... Why are we talking about My Little Pony? Now we're just asking for it. Like, they're going to come in here and they're going to be like, look at this liberal talking about My Little Pony. Of course you are. Next he's going to start ripping Pokemon cards, which then it's just like, okay, now you're just being factual. Shut up. Chucky's just a soulish machine kid. I get the nihilistic employee that's just had it. He's about to go on his last smoke breaker. He's just like, let me tell you something about Chucky. He's a fucking creep. It's just like, what? The artist is Angry Pony. It's music, not a game. Okay. Why is it lie? To quote one Joe Rogan. But why is it lie? Give me 1 sec. Let me update this. That is crazy. I still can't believe. Jeez, I feel like I should have made a goal $1,000. Fuck. All right, I need to reset here. This is weird, but all right. In general, thank you very much for the kind donation. I'm going to move on with the show now because I just kind of have to. I saw it earlier. I don't think you saw it, Pep. It's even scarier. Horror. Ah, you scared the shit out of me. Jesus Christ. Fucking son of a... Oh, got a present. Whoa, my wife built me a present. Look. Funny enough. Oh, can he do the little thing? Oh, he can. He can put it... Oh, he can tilt his ears and stuff. Oh, cool. All right. Oh, he's so cool. He's like a little... My wife built me a fucking Pikachu. All right, well, I guess Pikachu's to stay here with the Gundams. Why not? Pika, hell yeah, dude. Thank you. She already went upstairs. Damn it. That person was being a dick, so I said it. I mean, I did know, like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here pretending otherwise just because they donated to my stream. Like, no, they were being very contentious with you and Sylvie, and like that. No, they were very, yeah, he was being... I don't know what you guys were talking about, to be completely real. Crazy, both sides of the spectrum can agree on this. Yeah. Well, dude, if there's one thing that I've learned through my time of streaming, is that we do agree on a lot more than you think. For real. This whole idea that, like, the class war is the true one, I mean, I'm right there with it, and that's where they spend all this money to make sure that we're always fighting each other, that we can never agree. Pikachus are cute, but they shit a lot. Wait, are you talking about Pocopia, or what is it? Or yeah, my wife, she plays that game. Do that. Now you're scaring me. Now I'm like, oh, now this Pikachu's gonna leave me a present, and I'm not gonna be too happy about it. He's so cute, you know. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll put him a Charizard. All right. I know something that everyone can agree on, lower taxes. Well, that's the thing. Like, I saw this push for the federal property taxes to be abolished. Like, okay, actually, I do want to talk about this. So we're going to do a segment. Just mark it now. So, segment time. I was just kind of perusing Facebook. I know, ew. But I saw that Darren Bailey, he's the Republican candidate for governor here in Illinois. He did a post that baffled me. Actually, here, I'll read this one. Okay, so Darren Bailey talked about flock cameras. And I was just like, okay. Like, weird. Wait. Yeah, here. Oh, it's because the Green... Oh, my God, the Green... He's going after the Green Party, which has a third-party candidate that's going to really fuck him over if he is allowed to be in the election, which he already has been determined to be allowed. The question was never about whether flock could be abused. The question was how long before it was. We have our answer, D-Flock, Illinois. So I posted on his chat on that channel where I was just like, oh, holy shit, that awkward moment where you hate your opponent so much that you accidentally pivot so far to the left that now you have all of your like constituents being pissed off. Or I did see this one. They actually were like, no, we need to deflock. Like, he was talking about how we need to get rid of data centers and we need to deflock Illinois. And I was just like, what is happening? Like, this is weird. Like, now, do I think that he means it? No. Like, the second that he said that the Green Party candidate got caught using flock data, I was just like, oh, okay. But if this was a Republican, he wouldn't give a shit. Now the cops are going to be using the flock data. Will he give a shit? Like, no, he only gave a shit because it was somebody that hurts his chances at electability. But he's doing this weird shit. Like, he moved to Chicago. He's been talking about the data centers. He's been talking about deflock. Like, he's trying to win over Democrats. Like, in, like, the centrists and the independents and even some of the farther left. I gotta say, man, fucking J.B. Pritzker's got to be careful. He should not underestimate him on this one. Like, yes, he had a horrible campaign last time, but this one, if he does actually have, like, the apology go through, yeah, I mean, if they say Darren Bailey wins the election, I kind of would know why. It's like, yeah, because you know what you did, JB? You gave tax cuts to data centers, and then you had to walk it back. You gave fucking sweetheart contracts to a bunch of data centers. Didn't walk those back. And now we have flock cameras all over Chicago. Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's not all. Also, he says he's a Dem after he donated. It was multiple times, but I'm over it. Just school him with facts or just make yourself look bad. Wait. Quit arguing. I wasn't debating him. Like I said, this is awkward. Because I'm also trying to be... I mean, I think that I did an okay job at even just saying like, hey man, like be respectful. He was kind of like challenging in a dickish way, but this is still weird to me. Back to the name calling. I know you are, but what am I? I'm rubber, you're glue. Blah, 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 blah. Grow up. Guys. It does look different in vertical. Changing the way they're presenting chats. I'm okay with that because I actually, I was having issues with that where it's blocking like half my stream. Actually, it's still doing it. I just noticed that. Yeah, if you guys are chatting and it's like, yeah, kind of over the screen, don't forget, I do have a horizontal stream that now seems to be for the people that just do not want to watch their phone in vertical mode, which is, it's increasingly less and less people. It is so weird. Yeah, non-refundable. Also, like, stop attacking my mods, dude. Like, fucking knock it off. Natch, you can just disengage. It's okay. Obviously, like, keep an eye on him, but yeah. Nah, fuck this. Sounds like I missed the fun. You kind of did. I missed the fun too, apparently, because I was going on my regular pep talk or my pep rants here, and yeah, I kind of missed it. But can we just all chill for a minute? Damn, like, I'll be honest, like, I'm shocked at how what? No, Natch, it's not even you. Like, you don't necessarily need to chill. Just disengage or something. Just take a breath and just... I mean, they're trying to work you out, man. Like, don't let them do it. It's okay. All right. Anyway, where are we going with this one? You got the Pete Hegseth stuff. Right now, the rich benefit from people thinking military spending is required and social programs are optional. Well, Robin, sorry, I just saw your comment from a little bit ago. I will say this, though. This is nothing new. Like, I remember during 9/11, when we were passing the military budgets, like, I was just starting to drive. So I was kind of getting to that point where I was like, why are these roads so bad? And we have all of this money to spend on these military contracts, and then we get nothing. And then we get told tough titties if we want infrastructure. Like, and then it's happening again with Trump, where it's just like, dude, why do we have this shit where it's like, can't you guys just fucking actually do the thing? Like, I honestly thought that there would be like this big rise up way sooner than Trump because people were going to get sick of getting fucked over by Citizens United and just everything. But I don't know, man. We really do just constantly get like put on the pay no mind list. Fucking sucks. I think it's time fair to time out or ban someone who's intentionally antagonizing people in chat. Timeouts. Yes. Like if they're targeting and just remember, guys, I have a 3-strike rule. So if they break, if they break the 2 timeouts, then that's a hard ban. I just don't do hard bans right away. I'm not the majority report. I have a small enough chat to where, no, we can engage with this stuff and you guys can block them if you don't want to see them. The thing is, I need engagement. So, this is the final word on it, okay? I'm not going to go through this again. But that also, to that end, don't get fucking timed out more than twice. Behave yourselves if you want to fucking interact here. It's that simple. I got people that come in here that just want to get banned. And they also have, like, I mean, refundable, you are, like, dude, just stop. I'm I'm done talking about it too. Good. Let's move on. God, this is the biggest fucking cup I have. Just saw that thing. It's like, it took up like half my face. I'm not taking mod actions for someone coming at me. I took the bait, I guess. It's okay, man. Hey, I'm glad you recognized it. But also, yeah, like, this is kind of one of those situations where you guys can have each other's backs on this one. Where it is like, you know, if someone is going, like, if someone's going after Sylvie, then Natch, you can step in. Vice versa. Like, but this is where I have to remind you guys. It's a 3-strike rule on this channel. It is, I do not just let people abuse people on this channel. That is something that was insinuated recently about my chat. And I was just like, okay, no, that's bad faith as fuck. And I'm tired of that. I really am. Just know that it would be fair for you to do so. Ish. The thing is, I want this to be I want this to be practice with some objectivity, especially, like, again, I have enough mods in my chat right now, especially, where, yeah, it's easy. Because Natch also doesn't want to make a mistake, which I respect the shit out of that. He's not ruling with his emotions. I'm going to just be honest. Latino Mifune, this was well known here. Looney Tunes fucking went mod happy. Or he went fucking apeshit on my chat. He got it to the point where it really did kill engagement, and it's just one of these things where I have now been exposed to what happens when you let a mod run rampant. I'm not doing that. It's not okay. Because he didn't respect my wishes with it. He started instituting his policies, which that's not okay. And I think that this is easy. The easiest way this is handled is by having multiple mods in here. This is why I have a mod chat in my Discord, and then we handle it there. This is probably, I would argue, the most professional way to handle these types of fucking, like, this type of discourse, especially with a growing channel. But the short-sighted thing that I had, like, I had this with LT, he didn't understand that, like, this is just stifling engagement. He didn't understand that it's also, like, he came into my chat and literally did no Trumpers allowed, and then just fucking started hard banning people. So no, let's not do that again. I don't believe refundable is good faith. They want to rile me up. Yeah, the thing is, that's why they come into these chats. If you don't give in, if you don't even, like, respond, then you just, then he keeps going, and then either he'll leave the stream or he'll behave himself. Leave the stream is probably the one that I would bank on, but dude, stop adding me. I mean, yeah, now you are getting to the point of harassment. Like, if you add Natch one more time, that's your first. I'm gonna have to time you out. Plain and simple. Can't handle the truth, you say? I mean, are we gonna go fucking full? Oh, what movie was that? It was Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise. All Good Men? Or wait, A Few Good Men? Wait, what the fuck? What movie was that? Yeah, A Few Good Men, right? Yeah, Tom Cruise. Okay, yeah. Oh, wow, I got it. Hey, I remembered. I watched that movie with my mom, like, years ago. God, I watched that the same year that I watched, was it I think it was called The American President? Where, like, it had, or no, now I'm mixing it up. Wait, yeah, Annette Bening, I think, was in it. I don't know. I used to watch really, like, weird movies with my mom. Like, I remember just one day, she's like, have you ever seen, you know, like, she liked to show me Nicole Kidman movies because I just passively mentioned that I had a crush on her from Moulin Rouge. So she thought, well, I'll give in to this one a little bit. Did you see that? Thank God she didn't like try to be like, have you seen Eyes Wide Shut? It's like, no. But it was the one about that teacher, where Nicole Kidman played the teacher that got arrested for being with the kid, then manipulating the kid to take out her husband. Fuck. What the fuck was that movie called? Kiss of something? Here. This is gonna drive me nuts. Oh. There we go. Teacher movie. Yeah. This is it. To Die For. That's what it was called. To Die For. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Watch that movie. That was awkward. Yeah, anytime that there was like a awkward, like, S scene or something like that, like with a movie I would watch with my parents, I would always just be like, well, now's a good time to go fill up my beverage. It's just like, I'm not doing this. God, let's see. What was one of the most awkward ones? Fuck, man. I want to say it was one of the Alien. Actually, no. Wait. It wasn't Alien. There was a Wait, was it Species? I think it was Species that I saw with my dad. Yeah, no, it was Species. Where you're just like, oh, this is weird. You just don't make eye contact. You're just like, just don't want to see the boobies. Just don't want to see the boobies. Walk away when there's a rompy scene. A rompy scene. I like that. A rompy scene. Rompy? I like that. That's like a weird, like, classy way of just being. Yeah, I like that. Rompy scene. I think I'm gonna adopt that one. It's like, oh, rompy scene's on. It's like, what did he just say? Oh, man. All right, you know what? You know what we do on this show? We do cover news occasionally. Roadhouse. Oh, Roadhouse! No, Roadhouse was another one. Yeah. Yeah. The sex scene in Roadhouse. That one was bad. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't recommend watching Species with parents. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Damn it, HBO. Yeah, what's the news? Yeah, what is the news? I don't know. What's the news? Yeah. That's news. Oh. Why we gotta cover the news? It's like, I don't know. Why can't I just be like Clavicular, where it's just like, I'm voluntarily ignorant because I just spend all my time like stone maxing and just chill maxing. I also do coffee maxing while I'm here, and I also make sure that I have my hair maxing on. And we're just gonna, at some point, once we chill max, then we just need to make sure that we bring back, the max and the max attacks and the Cinemax. Yeah, then we Skinamax. Yeah, you got the Cinemax, then you Skinamax. Pep maxing. Yep, I'm pep maxing. All right, that's for sure. Skinamax. Good times. Oh, Emmanuel. If you know, you know. Oh, God. And I legit, I love the people that are just like, it's, just, it's like, dude, you remember the one? Because, I just remember like Emmanuel was like, it was essentially soft core like prawn, but it was actually like interesting. Like they had legit storylines, and there were times where I would like, you know, I'd do the teenage boy thing, ew. But I would also find myself watching to the end, just being like, okay, well, I just want to know if she's actually gonna, you know, find her brother's killer. There's the other like. There are a bunch of them that were like sci-fi. Like I remember they used to like change it up too, where it was just like, oh, we're going to a new genre now. To be 13, 14 with you know, the maximum cable package. That was quite nice. Anyway, oh yeah. I was doing that thing where I was just like, memories. Ew. I love this stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's how this goes. Wait, what's a newfie? What's a newfie? I don't know what that is. To after in Rebecca's comment. Dude, it's so weird that Translate is like now going after just mistypes and then just assuming. It is weird. It's actually making it worse. Like, someone from Newfoundland. Oh! That makes sense. Non-refundable. Oh, Jesus. Bro. Alright, like, come on, man. Like, you didn't have to add them on that one. Don't be bad faith about this. Jesus Christ.
At
This is the weirdest stream I've
45:37,
had
it's
in a
worth the
long
time out
time.
to say you are a little witch. Host obviously didn't see that you were calling names. I read hard.
Appreciate it, but man, come on. Like, that's not cool. Because now I see it, like, I know what you're doing here. I'm like, that's not cool. Like, that's not. I mean. Elijah or not? Or not. Thank you for the follow. Hey, just so you know, you actually you got me to one of my goals here that is not up. Why is that not up? What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, thank you. Sub goal 650. No, that's not it. Sub goal. No. Shit. I can't change that for like a day. Ah, man. Damn it. I keep forgetting that like subs and followers are two different things. Nice. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that a bong? Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, cheers, man. Appreciate the support. Sorry. Thanks, but yeah, just do another donut. I'll get pissed off more, I promise. All right, now we're doing it. All right, cool. We're back. I like this vibe. 610. Jesus Christ. Let's say Friday. I mean, damn. Now I feel like I need to start a new goal. I don't know what to do here. Whatever, guys. Just so you know, it all goes same place, and it's just fuck, dude. Man. Okay, so I'm gonna just be real, guys. Like, there was something like in the back of my mind where I was like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to pay for it. That is no longer a thing, and like, yeah, I just like kind of had a weight lifted off. You know what I mean? Like, so that's cool. I realized I was taking the bait. I'm back in the chill zone. Hey, man. Fist bump. Cool. I'll leave for 24 hours. You don't need... Listen, if it's Just try to chill out, please. That's my biggest thing here. Can we just? I want to chill today. Like today's. Even when I cover this news, I want this to be chill. Which I do need to cover the news. I just realized what time it is. Fuck. Oh my god. Because I'm not going to be able to do a 4-hour show today. Natch gets really offended when people donate $1,000 or more. That's true. I can't. NDAA passes the House with section 219. Fuck yeah. Although it already failed in the Senate, and they're saying that they're going to chop this up pretty hard in the Senate. So yeah, I'm thinking that they might not. I mean, it might advance, and if it does, then guess what, guys? Surprise! Surprise! This is what happens when we do this is what happens when we need to prove a point. I'm still back to that one where it's like, did we prove our point yet? I hope our point was proven. The thing is, it kind of was, because DSA is on the, here's where I have, the genuine, thought that we needed Trump to actually get the DSA to have some traction. Otherwise, I don't think that we would ever get past the fucking just milquetoast Democratic Party. Are they going to pass the no more daylight savings time? I think that there was some lobby that intervened, so now they're reevaluating it. Which, who the fuck is benefiting from having daylight savings time the way that it is anymore? Really? I mean, really. Doesn't make much sense. Truckers, maybe? Wait, does that help truckers or does that hurt them? Wait. Ghost Train, are you in chat? Would you know that? Do you know the answer to if there was a national just lock on daylight savings time, would that fuck you up? And as far as your delivery times and all that? Because again, with my old gig, I used to have to time shit by that. Nothing sucked more than going to the fucking West Coast. The farther west I went, the more my job became a pain in the ass. So, been waiting on 5 presidents now. Come on, dude, just change it. Seems stupid. I know it doesn't seem. All right, let's see. Let's look this up. Who is holding up the daylight savings time? U.S. Senate is holding up the Daylight Savings Time Act. House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed the Bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act. The bill is currently facing resistance in the Senate. Primary obstacles in the upper chamber come from the bipartisan group of senators who represent northern and midwestern states. These lawmakers have risen concerns about the negative effects of darker winter mornings on public safety, children's health, and commuting. I swear to God, if one of these motherfuckers is of the age where we could say sundowning and it could be applicable, I don't give a shit if they're from my fucking state. I don't give a shit if they are fucking part of the DSA. Get out of here, you old fucks. Put some fucking stoplights or not even stoplights. Let's invest in some more lights. How about that? Stoplights or not stoplights, the street lights. You know, actually, we do need to invest in more streetlights. I don't know what the fuck happened, but even in the town I grew up in, when I went back there, I noticed that half the fucking streetlights were gone. We used there wasn't more than a block that you could go without having a streetlight up. So I don't get it. Were they counting on house lights and light pollution doing its thing? I just don't understand. No more streetlights up. Who cares? I mean, I'm gonna be real. I do. I had a wonderful childhood because of streetlights. Although I'm not going to be that nostalgic guy that's just yeah, you know what the kids need to do? They need to go back to that, where they don't have their phones and they just, if the stoplight comes on, then you go home. Which, realistically, man, I I hate to sound like that Gen X dash fucking millennial, but we really did have a better life. Like we saw we had the last vestige of true happiness where we didn't constantly have a digital imprint always fucking with our minds. No, I'm saying put more up. Oh, yeah. No, okay. I thought you were like, who cares about... Okay, no, sorry, I misread that. No, exactly. Put more streetlights up. Thank you. I'm glad that we are in agreement here. Why? No, just, that's it. No more daylight savings time. I'm so fucking over it. I'm so sick of the fucking winters and how it gets dark by 4:30. It's fucked. Especially, like, with what I do. Like... Dude, in the winter, I barely get to see the sun. It sucks. Hide and seek in the neighborhood with the streetlights was awesome. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. We used to play Kick the Can. Dude, playing Kick the Can was the shit in our neighborhood because, like, we had, like, that old school, like, fence line where we had, like, the alleys and shit. So we would put the can in the middle of the alley. We never actually had a problem with, like, the cops ever. Like, there was one time where the cop actually, like, stopped and he played with us. Like, that was kind of cool. It was, like, honestly, I was at that age, too, where I was just like, what the fuck is he doing here? But it was kind of neat where I was like, well, I mean, we have to go and search for a cop. That was funny. Because that was my favorite part, was, like, I always liked being the seeker. Like, that was cool. I was pretty good at it, too, man. Like, I had, like, that... Like, I had a pretty good strategy of, like, protecting the can while also simultaneously trying to, like, sniff out where they'd be. Because I'd also, like, try to do, like, little fakes where it's, like, I would try to hide behind one corner and then just kind of be like, all right. And then, like, I would do the thing, too, where I'd be, like, waiting for their footsteps and I'd be like... You just take that shit seriously, man. Good times. God, I miss that. I miss those days. I want to play Kick the Can now. I mean, am I romanticizing the late night or like the... Yeah, it was actually like the late 90s. What's the name of the game where you and your friends threw a basket... 500. Right? Or wait, no. Across the street from each other? Wait. Oh, no, that's not 500. I don't know. Yeah, no, we used to play that. Yeah, we used to play 500 a lot. What shade of purple is on the wall? Funny enough, whatever one is responding to my my light up above. My walls are actually like beige. It's like a gray beige. It's like millennial gray. Yeah, it's actually like, it's more like a pink violet, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of tried to do the, I don't know, I think it looks good. I think that I did a pretty good, like, you know, capture of the light spectrum with this one where, yeah, it's nice and like, you know, kind of pink purpley, and then it goes into like the clear in the middle, and then you got the blue over here. I also did that completely by accident. It's almost like my subconscious is very color coordinated. It's fire. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. I have some people that have come in here and just been like, oh, look at this. The ones that always confuse me are the ones where, like, I have people telling me that I have way too much shit in the background, or like, it's too much to actually, like, pay attention to. I'm like, that, it seems like a you problem. Guys walk up to hotel reception and says, excuse me, I'm in room 602. I'd like the prawn channel on my TV to be disabled. Receptionist says, we only have regular prawn, you bastard. Oh, man. The stream turning blue has stopped. That's nice. Yeah, I did a color, like, I actually kind of fixed my camera a little bit. I'm not sure how long it's going to last because pending any Windows update, it fucks with my settings every single time. It's so annoying. It has been something I've been dealing with since I got this camera. And it's just, yeah, whatever. I'm playing some more there, Pep. All right. Well, let's get to some news. I also got to pee. So actually, hold on. Let's do the ground news segment of this, even though I am no longer sponsored by them. It's not like it's not still useful. Let's update. U.S. passes $1 trillion defense bill despite Iran-Israel concerns. GOP combines stock trading ban with voter ID bill to satisfy Freedom Caucus. Uh-oh. Here we go. On Tuesday, Mike Johnson announced that the House Republicans are merging the Stop Insider Trading Act with the Federal Voter ID Act. Yeah, it's a Trojan horse. Uses ethics reform in advanced efforts to restrict access to the ballot box. All right, with a narrow 2018-2014 majority, Speaker Johnson can only afford one Republican defection on any party line or any party vote. Tim has indicated that he's leaning towards opposing the stock trading provisions as written. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. You do have to remember that there's a bunch of senators and House members that are going to vote against that because that is going to be bad for them. If there's one thing that you can count on them doing, it's always being corrupt. You got a vacation plan with the wife? No. No, we're definitely not in that. I mean, yes, I got a nice donation today, but we're not at that point. We're in so much debt right now, dude. It's insane. Aaron Parnas. I like his report. Yeah, I follow Aaron on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, I like Aaron. He's cool. All right. Well, we got that. Judge questions difference between Hegseth's testosterone policy and transgender care policy for troops. Ooh! I want to see that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring this one up, but anytime I click on the Associated Press, it's always fucking weird. Come on, don't do this. Here, let's just go. Where is the actual clip? Is there a clip? Nope, of course. Why would there be a clip? All right, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's new initiative to test and treat troops with low testosterone has prompted a federal judge to question the differences between the kind of testosterone replacement therapy and hormone therapy for transgender men in the military. U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes in Washington raised the question Wednesday in an ongoing lawsuit against President Donald J. Trump's ban on transgender troops. Reyes noted that Trump's ban says the armed forces must adhere to high mental and physical health standards without the benefit of routine medical treatment or special provisions. Reyes ordered both parties in the lawsuit to address the similarities and differences administering TRT both medically and logistically for trans men compared to other service members, including cis individuals. She was using the acronym testosterone replacement therapy. The judge also requested information on the Pentagon's basis for treating trans men and other service members differently between the new policy and the military ban. Reyes' order comes a week after Hegseth announced that he is rolling a new screening program for testosterone deficiency and for troops to have them performing at their absolute best. Screenings will be conducted annually as a part of service members' required medical screenings for those 30 and over. Troops under 30 can volunteer to be tested. In a video on social media, Hegseth said receiving testosterone therapy would be voluntary. Sorry, I couldn't bring that one up. For some reason, this one is being weird. Non-refundable. Take care. I will see you on the next one. Also, yeah. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate that, but yeah. Florida researchers being endangered. Coral ashore to protect them. Wait, what? Yeah, this one seemed to go under the radar here. U.S. and Saudi signed deal to allow civil nuclear program on Saudi soil. All right, U.S. Energy U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright and the Saudi Energy Minister, I'm not even trying, signed a landmark peaceful nuclear cooperation agreement. known as the 123 agreement, alongside a bilateral safeguards agreement. The 30-year what? Multi-billion-dollar deal with a country that fucking funded 9/11? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Oh, these billionaires, dude. They just have no souls at all. And this is the thing. Every Republican should be really pissed off at this. Another one. 30-year multi-billion deal creates a framework for American companies, including Westinghouse Electric, to build civilian reactors and develop Saudi Arabia's nuclear energy infrastructure. Yeah, cool, great, awesome. Yeah, totally not fucking corrupt.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has sacked his country's commander-in-chief, General Alexander Syrsky. It comes after days of widespread protests resulting from another dismissal. Popular Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov was removed last week after clashing with Syrsky. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh has more.
A generational shift. The younger Ukrainians doing the fighting, now run by a general nearer their age, 43-year-old Mikhailo Drapati. Out, Alexander Syrsky, aged 60, who for years met the Soviet brutality of Russia with similar resolve and ruthlessness. Nicknamed the Butcher, he became the face of the relentless, ugly toll of the war on frontline troops. Sending people to die is something a wartime general has to do, along with always be winning to stay popular. And while Syrsky had notched up enough small victories, they did not save him from modernity. His wartime resume begins with the defense of Kiev, where thousands of locals bolstered the city's rout of the Russians. The Kharkiv counteroffensive in late 2022 saw Russia collapse, a startling reversal, exposing poor command and supply lines, for which Syrsky is credited.
Поставте крапку по тим підрозділам ворога, які стоять перед вами. То, що ви можете це зробити, ви вже доказали.
But his rivalry with his boss, then Commander Valery Zaluzhny, many analysts have said, led Syrsky to push a focus on the city of Bakhmut during the next summer and leave the main push of the counter-offensive, Ukraine's main chance to break Russia's road to Crimea with a flood of new Western equipment, to falter. Zaluzhny lost his job months later to Syrsky, who swiftly needed a win after so many slow losses, including Bakhmut. The response was daring and stunning, if not...
Oh, God damn it. My already annoying neighbor, he already had a loud-ass truck. He just got a new work truck. Yay! Guess what? It's even louder than the last one.
Strategically sound in the long run. The first invasion of Russia since the Nazis.
And they wonder, like, why every neighbor fucking hates him. Like, all of us hate this guy. All of us.
Kursk.
За сьогоднішню добу наші війська просунулись на окремих напрямках від 1 до 3 кілометрів.
A major embarrassment for Putin and a turn in the narrative until Ukraine slowly left the next year. Ultimately, the war changed
Pinkerbell, what's up?
Around Ukraine and Syrsky as a younger generation found
hope you're doing well.
Tech could compensate for a lack of brute force and people. Mikhailo Fedorov, the disruptor-in-chief and new Minister of Defense, leading the use of drones early to hit deep inside Russia. IT, data, open tenders for equipment, transparency, questioning everything, and robots, and more robots. Nothing could be further from the Syrsky way of war. But it began to work and gained popularity, the major metric in Zelensky's decision-making. Fedorov, too popular, it seemed, when he openly clashed with Syrsky, leaving the older general, whose failings and frailty had been the talk of Kiev for months, suddenly the victor when Zelensky edged out a rising star. That was until rare Kiev protests switched to focus on Syrsky, leaving Zelensky with another popularity crisis,
my friend was at one of those.
His own, and in need of a new military commander, a bizarrely open and fickle back and forth. Democracy in wartime, some say, or the president ditching losers, or out with the old and in with the new. Whatever just happened, they too have to keep winning.
Well, that was Nick Payton-Walsh, and he joins me now live from London with more. Nick, really good to have you with us, and really brilliant analysis. I mean, I wonder what this says about the rifts that have been emerging within wartime leadership in Ukraine, and what kind of consequences will these changes have for the country going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to remind people that obviously during war you're going to have competing ideas and tension in the high command. The issue here has been, though, that this spilled out into the open. And until last night's effective resolution of the problem by removing Alexander Syrsky as the top military commander and putting in a man 17 years his younger, Mikhailo Drapati, we had this public tension between the former defense minister, another Mikhailo Fedorov, and...
Oh, shit, you just got back from the hospital? My kid fell out at work in the heat and had to be taken by ambulance to the ER. He's home resting, but goddamn, I'm tired, and he's looking for a new job. What? It's fucking Texas. I mean, this is... I remember, like, I'm sorry, Pinkerbell, but I remember exactly when they announced that they took away the provisions that would have given them the ability to have on-site water, to have shade. It's fucking crazy how ghoulish that fucking state you live in is. It really is. All for the name of fucking republicanism.
The military commander.
Yeehaw! So that big fucking one-star.
Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, was clear that was boiling up to the public. There were clear instances of the two men clashing, and obviously in private there was even more of a deadlock. And Zelensky...
He's not the only one on his team who fell out today, too.
He said he was the man who had to be the arbiter, and that's no...
Holy fuck. Pinkerbell, definitely consider getting an attorney for this shit. I think that this is, like, look into class action lawsuits against the department, like Texas Department of Transportation, if that's who he was working for. I think this is fucking insane.
No way to run a war. The question is, though, exactly what Zelensky did as his first solution.
It was a big middle finger to Houston.
To that problem. Now, Mikhailo Fedorov, the former defense minister, age 35, a big disruptor,
insane.
Hugely popular amongst many Ukrainians and rank and file in the military.
Okay, we're done with that. I'm bored with it. All right, let's... This is interesting. This hearing with Pete Hegseth definitely did not go well for him. But holy shit, dude! Like this was the one that kind of got me, where I was like, "Oh damn!" Like he's in big fucking trouble.
Senator Shaheen.
Oh, by the way, so Majority Report made a Susan Collins shaking joke. I never, ever, ever want to see somebody coming after me for making fun of someone's appearance or something that they can't control anymore, because they made a blatant fucking ableist joke about her Parkinson's and her shaking and shit. I was just like, damn, dude. Damn. It's like, how do they always skate with that one? Like, how come... Like, this is going to be catty as shit, but how come it's so easy for me to see like people unsubscribe when I make like an out-of-pocket joke like that? And it's just like, yeah, but them, I didn't see anything in chat. I was just like, get the fuck out of here.
Secretary Hegseth, since you last testified before this committee.
Wow, that's not okay. Dude, it was kind of messed up.
We finally received the spend plan for the...
Oh, I don't say that. I'm not trying to justify that it's okay, but yeah.
$400 million FY26 appropriation for Ukraine security assistance. This funding was passed back in January, and now there are only 3 months left in this fiscal year. And while I appreciate that we now see what most of the funding is intended for, I just heard from the CEO of one of the manufacturers of the defense articles that are contained in the spend plan that they not only haven't received funding, but they haven't even seen a contract.
Oh no, I actually the thing that I saw in chat was pushback against what I said about it being ableist, and they were just like, "You don't know that she has that." I was just like, yeah, "What? Yeah, it's public knowledge. She has fucking that. She has Parkinson's disease."
So, when are we going to see a contract for those defense articles that are contained?
Usually, Chad is ruthless on that shit. Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Iraq. I'm sorry, for Ukraine.
For Ukraine. Senator, I'll have to get back to you on the specifics of the timeline of that. I'll talk to our policy shop as well as the EUCOM commander to determine where that's at.
Well, you've told this committee that you've barely spent half of the $150 billion in reconciliation funding. And if you
So why do they need this money?
Still have $75 billion available.
Yep.
Why are you asking the American people to absorb the cost of a war they don't support, instead of asking for transfer authority for unspent
I love the way that you frame this.
funding? especially if you can't even get $400 million in Ukraine funding out the door.
As I mentioned earlier, Senator, that money from the One Big Beautiful Bill is otherwise allocated to the rebuilding of our military with priorities of the president like Golden Dome for America and hypersonics and other munitions investments that we made up front as we tried to adjust the Biden budget into an America First budget. And so reallocating that away from...
You do understand that the Biden budget didn't do shit. Like this myth that he somehow gutted the military is just that, the biggest fucking myth.
And those priorities is Robin.
They still had record amounts of fucking money for the military during Biden's time. The only difference is now you're spending our money like it's not even money, like it's water.
Peter to pay Paul, those are allocated to rebuild.
But my point is,
and ultimately we're committed
if you can't
to
spend
this
it
year's
on
agenda.
a timeline that makes sense, why do you need to come back and ask for more money? Wouldn't it be better to spend money that you already have? And one of the things I noted was, or at least I think, that this supplemental doesn't include funding to repair damage.
Again, if the Democrats don't actually like jump on this shit and say, hey, by the way, they voted to fund this again, I don't want to hear about our fucking budget.
To our bases or to our military.
Like, if I hear the term deficit from a fucking Republican, I'm going to lose my shit.
Military infrastructure in the region. And I have not heard that we've gotten the full extent of any of those damage estimates.
I'm not even making the obvious joke, but that I could otherwise, and I'm a complete prick.
Another request to address that military construction costs. And at what point do you stop asking Americans to foot the bill for a war they don't support on top of an inflated budget request and billions in reconciliation funds that you still haven't spent?
Well, Senator, I obviously don't agree with your characterization of that.
I appreciate that, but you didn't ask. But I want you to answer my question. I know you don't agree with my characterization. I don't agree with yours either.
Well, one of the reasons I take issue with that characterization is something that Senator Durbin said when he talked about Ukraine and he talked about winning. And I appreciate as much as anybody winning a war. But I sit in front of a committee that wants to talk about winning a war that's been going on for 4 years and talks about strategic defeat of a conflict that's been going on for 4 months to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. I would hope for some perspective in this town of the historic nature of what President Trump is undertaking. Do you want radical Islamists to have a nuclear bomb that can stare down the world?
Because I have limited time.
I don't understand.
You can't answer my question, then I will move on to my next question.
Oh, she hates this guy. Vosh actually said it best, and I was able to watch a little bit of him on my way to my dentist appointment today. And he was saying specifically that like Pete Hegseth is coming at this with the gravitas of a 6th grade boy.
Secretary Rollins.
And that's most of the Trump administration, where they all have the demeanor of just like, oh yeah, nanner, nanner, boo boo.
Also been hard hit, as you know, by trade wars, by drought, by wildfires, by other natural disasters that are increasingly common. In New Hampshire, which is the second most heavily forested state in the nation, one of the things that we really need, as you know, because we've had this conversation, is a research program and Forest Service staffing on the ground in a variety of ways, but particularly at Bartlett Experimental Forest. These small investments in research and staffing and sound management help make the forest economies healthier and more competitive. I very much appreciate your having staff visit Bartlett last week with my staff and with staff from the governor's office. But can you commit to restoring staffing at Bartlett and to keeping the facilities there open now that you've seen the critical nature of that research?
Why don't I follow up with you? I have not gotten a report from their visit, so I would like to do that first. But obviously, you and I have been in a continuing conversation about that. The good news, there's no doubt our timber industry is in distress and has been for a long time. The fact that we import 90% or something from other countries of our lumber needs is crazy. We're changing that. But the good news, we had more board feet sold last year.
You do understand that is... we have this deal because we can't replace our lumber the way that, oh my God, they're going to literally gut our fucking, this is why they're gutting the national forest, guys. Like, they ruin everything. Republicans are so short-sighted that they want that quick buck that they would completely sacrifice the well-being of everybody. everybody just to get it. And then they tell us, well, you got that quick dollar without us getting anything.
Than any time.
And somehow, some way, you have a bunch of assholes out there just lapping that shit up, going like, yeah, we got a lot.
Time in 30 years. This year, we're going to exceed that target again. So we're making the right moves on this, but there's no doubt that research is important to that, as we've discussed. And I'll follow up with our team, and then we'll reconnect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As you pointed out, research is critical to ensuring that the timber economy continues to be successful. Thank you, Madam Chair.
There are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep
We're pretty much just speed running through the news today.
Until
I
they
kind of
give
have
up?
to.
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and
You
kill
don't know
Americans.
what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
do you know
still
something that I don't know? Do you know something I don't know?
Well, tell us.
I will tell you. They want to desperately meet, and until they're ready
You know
to
something I don't know?
meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest.
That was President Trump's testy exchange with White House correspondent for ABC News, Mary Bruce, yesterday. Welcome back to Morning Joe on this Wednesday, July 22nd. I'm Jonathan Lemire. Former Senator Claire McCaskill is still with us. And the United States and Iran exchanged fire overnight for the 11th straight night. U.S. Central Command said targets included aircraft hangars and drone storage sites as Iran retaliated with attacks on U.S. bases in Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait. The latest strikes come as President Trump signaled that the fighting may only intensify. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office yesterday.
Yeah, gas, by the way, is already like, I think it was almost a solid $1 more than it was just even 2 weeks ago.
Trump said the U.S. is prepared to hit the area of Pickaxe Mountain, a fortified underground site near one of Iran's primary...
Shit! I forgot to get gas on my way home.
Nuclear
Oh my
enrichment
God,
facilities.
I forgot. Fuck. All right, well, I need to go do that tonight.
That Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain, and when you say we're not done yet, what is left to finish?
Well, I think that they may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. You know, we see the news is so wrong so many times. So
then correct it. You're the leader of you are the leader of our nation. Lead. Why is everything? Oh, these people lie about me. They're telling lies. Always lies, never the truth. And it's like, we're asking you a direct question. Well, I don't have that question. Do you have information I don't? No, come on. Like, fuck off.
You know, maybe.
God damn it, dude. Like, this is the thing. For all of Biden's fucking, like, sins, for the fact, and yes, trust me, we could go through his sins, especially today, talking about how now all of a sudden he's like, well, maybe I should have done something different with Bibi. But for real, god damn, I kind of do miss, like, just having a boring leader.
Maybe this one they have right, but it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material.
Fuck, dude.
You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it. You know, normally I wouldn't say that. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say that. But we'll be hitting that area pretty soon, and very heavily.
This threat comes after the Wall Street...
You notice how, like, Iran doesn't really telegraph what the fuck they're going to do? You ever wonder why that is?
Journal reported that the U.S. received intelligence from Israel indicating that Iran moved thousands of uranium enrichment centrifuges to the Pickaxe Mountain site last fall. Trump yesterday also threatened military action...
So Israel is trying to fucking bait us into fucking going to Pickaxe Mountain, which means boots on the ground, which means escalating the war into a fucking full-fledged fucking war.
Against the Iran-backed Houthi group, as he continues to suggest a willingness to...
Is there a setting to turn off auto-translation in chat?
Escalate.
I'll look.
What is your level of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front in the war?
What happens? So far, it hasn't happened. Might happen.
No,
but we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before. and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
Meanwhile, administration officials tell the Journal that President Trump has formally approved an agreement with Saudi
not a good burp.
Arabia that will
That was a gross one.
provide that country with a civilian nuclear program and potentially open the door to uranium enrichment in the kingdom's territory.
Literally. This is the regime that paid for 9/11. But Iran is the fuck off. Fuck off, everybody, from the last 30 fucking years in geopolitics trying to sell this one on us, dude. Like, Jesus.
Deal is
These neocon fucks.
estimated to be worth tens of...
And you know what, America? You kind of deserve it. This is what happens when you don't fucking pay attention. Now, you know what? When the water's poison, when our food is poison, when we don't have enough of it, when we don't have enough fuel, just remember, I can't follow politics. I can't follow the news. It depresses me.
Billions of dollars designed to give American companies
literally by design
a central role in developing Saudi Arabia's nuclear infrastructure. The plan will be submitted to Congress for review, where it's likely to be met with some real skepticism from some lawmakers who fear the spread of
Jamal Khashoggi. Let's not forget that.
technology in the Middle East. But it will be difficult to block, requiring a veto-proof
fucking bone saw up here
majority to override it. Hard to see, though, how that helps peace and stability in the region, as Saudi has said if Iran develops a nuclear weapon, they will too. And that all comes as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was on Capitol Hill yesterday, testifying before the Senate Appropriations Committee, seeking tens of billions of additional dollars to fund the war in Iran. Hegseth estimated the war has cost $37.5 billion.
Where's the rest of that trillion, like the trillions of dollars that we have given to the fucking Pentagon
so far, which is about a $12 billion increase.
But we need to cut social programs. We need to cut all the little, like, seriously, this is the equivalent of seeing that you're about to lose your fucking house and you're like, you know what? I'm going to stop buying gum. Yeah, that'll work.
From the estimate he gave in late April. Some Democrats say
it's in pockets. Yeah.
Number is low.
Yeah, this is kind of what happens where they kind of go like, oh, you gave us a blank check? Well, I just happen to need this consulting agency. Who happens to own that consulting agency?
Defense Secretary.
And then they also have this thing where they're being very lax on insider trade. Like, dude, they're the most corrupt motherfuckers on the planet, and they're making money that they're never going to be able to spend. Like, they're never going to be able to spend this, but they want to make sure that we are definitely suffering.
Also,
because they know that we're at the fucking precipice, dude. Because I think that they know there's going to be a massive uprising after the AI fucking bubble pops.
Argued that supplemental war funding is urgent and necessary, but over the course of nearly 3 hours, lawmakers grilled Hegseth about the ballooning cost of the conflict and the administration's rhetoric throughout this war.
When you say two very different things, the American people don't know who to believe or what to believe. Was it obliterated or wasn't it? What's the status?
The nuclear sites under Midnight Hammer were obliterated, but Iranians foolishly continued to attempt to pursue nuclear capabilities, which is why we destroyed their defense industrial base.
So why are there missiles left to hit Jordan and result in the loss of life
Doing
of
a rebuild
our
on a
brave
53.
men and women?
As we stated from the beginning, the Iranian defense industrial base is effectively gone.
nice.
But they do have underground facilities because they're the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism.
Man, he is sweating. He always looks like he's about to cry.
The Strait of Hormuz.
I love this one, dude. This is bad.
Is still closed, reminding everybody it was open before the war. Prices were lower for everybody until the war. And of course, tragically, people, service members, our war fighters, who we care deeply about, are still dying.
I think your characterization of this incredible effort as a failure is reckless. Shame on you and others who call this a quagmire and a failure, and then you want to turn around and say you support the warfighter. Either you do or you don't.
Secretary Hegseth, if you listen to my comments, you would have heard me say how amazing our warfighters are.
I heard failure. And the word I heard exactly
I will
what you
tell you
said.
how I use the word
Exactly
failure,
what you
because
said.
I use the word failure to their leaders. You, sir, are the failure, not the men and women who are on that front line, not the men and women who hold up their honor with distinction. But if there's a lack of a winning strategy, they're in harm's way. Their leaders have failed them.
Odd. They're literally doing the shit that they used to do during 9/11, where it's just like, stand for the flag. If you don't stand for the flag, then you're a bad patriot. Oh, wait a minute. If you don't support this war, then you're not a patriot.
Claire, certainly we're used
disgusting,
to the bravado from Secretary Hegseth, but it comes here at an important moment where the costs of this war are really rising in terms of expense, munitions, American lives. We've seen more service members killed in recent days, and at a moment where the Trump administration seemingly has no way out.
Yeah, and people need to keep focused on the fact that there has been a dramatic increase in funding to the Department of Defense under this administration. The funding for last year was up to right around $1 trillion. They're now asking for a 50% increase to $1.5 trillion. And the war costs, I think it's fair to estimate these war costs are going to...
Oh, yeah, they're also doing the McCarthyism Red Scare shit. The thing is, like, I'm glad that everybody on the left is kind of mobilizing against this shit because they all see the writing on the wall with it.
Approach $100 billion.
Now, is there enough people that are up in arms about this? No.
Before
Are there people focusing on the wrong sides of this? Yes.
Before it's all said and done. Maybe even more, depending on how long it goes on. And here's the dirty little secret, Jonathan. The majority of members of Congress know Hegseth is not competent.
The dirty little secret.
The majority of the members of Congress know he is not the right guy. The Republicans sitting on that Appropriations Committee and sitting on the Armed Services Committee know that he is reckless, that he is an ideologue, that he is harming. I mean, him using the blame Biden all day yesterday. Yep. Blame Biden, blame Biden. Even John Kennedy was frustrated with the lack of clear answers from this guy. The nerve he has to criticize Austin when he has done so many things to undermine the incredible leadership of our military. It is really disgusting. And, I shame on those Republicans that put him across the finish line. And a couple of them knew better, did it.
Claire McCaskill, thank you as always. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Let's bring in MS Now international reporter Inez de la Cuetara, who joins us live from London. Inez, you've been watching the role that Secretary Rubio has been playing here. You know, he is
the blame
for a
Biden.
while,
He did it all day.
He's also had a real focus on the Western Hemisphere.
Honestly, if I had the time to do like a longer show today, I would have done the entire testimony because it was bad. Like, this one was interesting to watch because every time that like a Republican would try to even like start the thing where it's like, thank you for your service, blah 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 blah. Eventually they would get to a question, he would push back and they'd be like, dude, like, I'm trying to help you here. What the fuck? Like, he really is that much of an asshole.
We've seen him release a lot of accusatory documents about the regime in Cuba in recent days as this administration tries to juggle all sorts of global hotspots, and the one in Iran just simply won't cool down.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. And, just off the top, you mentioned the Saudi deal. That is going to be something to watch. That's huge news. If Saudi is now able to enrich uranium, it's going to have a huge impact on the balance of power in the region. And it's certainly not going to help with resolving the war in Iran. The Iranians are going to point to the Saudis and say that they also want to be able to enrich uranium. So I think that's one to watch today. But yes, the strike's very much ongoing. The U.S. has now been striking Iran for 11 days straight. And of course, the fear is that it's going to continue. President Trump threatening to bomb an Iranian nuclear site buried deep underground known as Pickaxe Mountain. There's a lot we don't know about Pickaxe Mountain. We understand it is still under construction, that it's being developed south of the Natanz nuclear site that we thought had been obliterated during the 12-day war. And it is believed to be deep underground, potentially out of reach of U.S. bombs. Experts believe it's a site that could be used to enrich uranium, which of course the Iranians would need if they were to develop a nuclear bomb. Now, Iran has been responding by targeting U.S. bases across the region. So in Kuwait, in Bahrain, in Jordan. Today, Jordan's military said it intercepted 4 missiles from the Iranians. 2 others fell in uninhabited areas.
This fucking translator, yeah. I'm going to see if there's a way to turn it off on my stream.
Of course, continuing to attack tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. You mentioned Secretary Rubio. We do know that diplomatic efforts are still underway in Pakistan to try and salvage some sort of deal. President Trump said yesterday that the U.S. has no interest in meeting with the Iranians. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio did just moments ago talk about Iran. He said the U.S. would continue to attack Iran as long as it tries to exercise control over the Strait of Hormuz. He did leave the door open for diplomacy, but he says Iran at the moment is not serious about the talks.
MS Now international reporter Inez de la Quintera reporting live from London. Inez, thank you so much.
Damn it. On live streams, it doesn't do this because you technically need to do it on your own account. So, like, for instance, if you go to your account and you click on your icon, go to the little, the settings wheel, and then set it to your preferred language. And theoretically, on your end, it should take it away. So let me know if that works, though, guys, because I'm going to just say that it doesn't look like I can do anything as the creator here. Because I typed it in as, like, can creators turn off the translate in the chat? It does not look like there's a way to do so right now. Man, I don't like it, I'll be honest. Whenever you guys, like, start, you know, saying something about, like, I don't like this, then immediately I'm just like, I don't like it either. Specifically when it comes to, you know, chat options and certain new things they do on Facebook. Habla español? Sí. Ah, sí, así. Más o menos.
Good morning and welcome to Breaking Points. As always, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, gotta do it. Right?
Yeah, the newsletter's great.
BreakingPoints.com. It's free. Tells you what's in the show. What more do you want?
And if you want a premium sub, you can do it over at BreakingPoints.com too, and that gives you an even...
So they're front load. I like how they do this. They front load the newsletter thing instead of waiting to get to the back end of the news
longer
thing.
version of...
But I'm gonna just say this.
Of the newsletter, but
does Emily just have one wardrobe choice, like, at the studio?
I would still say it's concise, and it gets you the links that we use as we prep the show. So make sure you head on over there. People are loving it. So BreakingPoints.com. Thanks to everybody who signed up.
The biggest news, of course, and we'll keep this for the end of the show, which is an old kind of radio trick to keep people listening. That'll be Emily's review of her first fish show. That's what everybody wants to hear. Any top line thoughts? Let's talk. We can talk about it at the end of the program.
Vibes were chill.
The vibes were
3 words.
Vibes were definitely chill.
Seeing Ryan at a fish show is seeing Ryan at his absolute peak.
My happy place.
Yeah, no, truly.
Why were they at a fish show together?
Truly. And Ryan brought his kids, which was super fun too.
The kids were, they were not.
Are they dating?
So keen on it, but
they got, you know, slush.
I am confused. Wait a minute.
Cheese or whatever else.
It was an education.
Also, why would you take Emily to a fish show? Like, was Ryan, like, I don't know, doing the whippets? Like, damn, dude. I'll tell you what, I went to a fish show when I was like, God, I had to be like 14, 15. Like, this is before I could drive.
But
that's my first time ever doing it. Like, they had the big balloons, you know what I'm talking about? That's my first time ever
lots to get to on the show.
A little bit of that.
Today,
that
Ryan, breaking news on the Iran front. Also, Trump striking a
she was wild.
Brand new deal with Saudi Arabia.
Fish are still touring. You're surprised by this? You think he's still married? Then what is happening?
It's about nuclear proliferation in the Middle East. So obviously relevant to ongoing negotiations in Iran and strikes continuing as well. So much to break down on that front just in the last few hours.
Hegseth was on Capitol Hill. Trump was in the Oval Office. So we've got a lot of sound to work our way through.
Yes, Hegseth begging for money on Capitol Hill. And I promise you, he's going to get it. Well,
yeah, he will.
He's going to get it. It might be a little bit of a fight, though.
We'll pay up.
Yeah. Also, huge developments in Lebanon that we're going to go through. Ryan Dropsite's been doing a lot of work on this.
Yeah, nobody's ever tried to...
I kind of want to see her review of the fish show. I'm going to be honest.
Civil war in Lebanon, so Trump's
I don't know why I
let's
care,
do
but I do.
that. Meanwhile,
what could go wrong?
Yemen is threatening to close down and has, in fact, 4 Saudi ships shut down Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which has been running
folks.
a couple million barrels per day of oil. So if you liked $4 a gallon gas, you're going to love what's coming next.
Just you wait. It's only getting better. Midterm elections. We have some results to get to in Arizona, but also new polling showing exactly how bad the situation is for Republicans.
Oh, dude.
New polling putting the House and the Senate. We won't. This is another radio trick, Ryan. We won't tell you who the polling is from, but trust us. Significant that the polling is showing Democrats now face a toss-up in the Senate and leading for control of the House. So we'll go through those numbers with everyone.
Why is, in the context of the history of America, why is anybody surprised by this? We all accept that during, there's always a lame duck period with presidents. There always is. Obama had his. George Bush had his. There always is.
New tariffs on Canada. This is a pretty significant economic development, lots of foreign policy.
Plus, you're ignoring the fact that, once they win, they have all this, there's a lot of people that don't understand midterm elections. They think there's only the presidential election.
And politics in the show. But
you know how many Americans genuinely do not know that there's an election this year?
A pretty significant economic development to go through. Jon Stewart and
probably
his thoughts on the
amount.
DSA.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
You're going to want to hear this. Jon Stewart's thoughts on the DSA. Also, Republicans saying
I'll bring that up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a late stream.
Bolshevik takeover of the Democratic Party is in full swing. We might debate who the Bolsheviks are in this scenario. And Ryan, who's our guest?
We got Kyle Blomquist, who's running in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh my God, can we get to the fucking news?
Against Jack Berg.
Starting to be slotted into that same role as the data centers and being this sneaky under the surface issue that unites people who are maybe on the
fuck this. I'm sorry. I thought they would actually get to the news about Pickaxe Mountain and all that, but honestly, I don't care. The trade war on Canada, I don't care. Here we go.
Since the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, global energy markets have become increasingly dependent on the Bab al-Mandab, another maritime choke point between Djibouti and Yemen that connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden, and whose name literally translates to the Gate of Grief. For the past few weeks, the Iranians have been threatening to close the Bab al-Mandab, and on Monday evening, that's exactly what happened, with the Houthis, who control most of western Yemen and are widely considered an Iranian proxy, announcing a total blockade on everything coming in and out of Saudi Arabia's ports.
Yeah, this is why you guys can bet that Yemen is going to be the next place that we start attacking.
Given that most of Saudi Arabia's trade goes via the Bab al-Mandab.
Great, yes. And then on top of it, Russia is on fire right now, so their energy infrastructure is taking a massive hit.
And that any Houthi activity...
Just remember, guys, this is what I keep bringing up. When Russia initially started their war, remember how high gas got? How does that make any sense when the Strait of Hormuz was still open? All these ports were still open. We weren't near hitting the end of our capacity, yet it's still skyrocketed to that point. This is it's insane how we just accepted that, but then we don't ask the question well, wait a minute, these are so much worse. How in the fuck is this not just getting to its worst degree now? And you got a few people like me where it's yeah, we all believe the experts. We all followed the trends, and we're still all baffled because we're just I don't know. Gas, by all means, I think that gas should be $6 right now based on the fucking trends. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
It will probably also spook non-Saudi ships. In practice,
are they just going to let this happen to where we get to the end and it's just oh God?
It looks like another maritime choke point has now been shut off. So in this video, we're going to explain why Iran and the Houthis
God, I love the TLDR news.
Decided to do this now rather than 5 months ago, and what impact it could have on global energy markets. Never miss an episode and always feel in the loop by subscribing and ringing the bell. So let's start by explaining how and why the Bab al-Mandab has become so important to global energy markets. In short, after Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, through which something like 20 million barrels of oil, or 20% of the global market, usually passes every day, affected countries started trying to reroute oil that would have gone through the strait to other export routes. The UAE, for instance, was able to reroute about 1.5 million barrels a day to the port of Fujairah on the other side of the strait via its Adcop pipeline. Iraq was able to reroute about 300,000 barrels a day to Turkey via another pipeline, and, most significantly, Saudi Arabia was able to reroute about 4 million barrels a day to the Yanbu port on the Red Sea via its east-west pipeline. About 1 million of these new barrels went north to Europe via the Suez Canal, but the remaining 3 million barrels or so went south to Asia via the Bab al-Mandab. This was good news for global oil markets because
so that's what kind of staved off the major impacts.
It reduced the total supply shortfall.
My biggest question now is like, why didn't the experts see that coming?
From about 20 million barrels a day to more like 15 million barrels. But it did make the market, and especially the Saudis, more dependent on the Bab al-Mandab. Before the war, the Bab al-Mandab handled something like 2 million barrels a day, with most of this being Russian oil going to Asia via the Suez Canal and then the Bab al-Mandab. By June, this was up to 6 million, with the Saudis accounting for almost all of the increase. This is why any interruption to trade through the Bab al-Mandab would be very bad news for global energy markets. If Saudi exports through the Bab al-Mandab went to zero, which is what the Houthis want, it would essentially take the total shortfall up from about 15 million barrels a day, as a consequence of Hormuz being closed again, up to more like 18 million barrels. And this number could go higher if the Houthis end up being less discerning in their strikes, or if the mere threat of Houthi activity also deters non-Saudi ships from transiting. Now, some Saudi oil could maybe be rerouted via the Suez Canal, but A, fully loaded supertankers can't actually use the Suez Canal because they're essentially too big, and B, if you still want to sell it to Asia, this requires circumnavigating Africa, which adds about 6,000 kilometers, or about 2 weeks, to the journey. This means there will inevitably be less oil reaching the market, which means that, if they want to avoid an acute energy crisis, the rest of the world will have to run down their already depleted stockpiles at an even faster rate. In this context, it's also worth noting that, in the past couple of days, Iran has threatened to hit the other export routes that Gulf countries have used to circumvent the Strait of Hormuz, including the UAE's Fujairah port and Saudi Arabia's east-west pipeline, which would put even more strain on the market. Now, at this point, you might be asking, why now? After all, you might have expected Iran to have closed the Bab al-Mandab at the same time as it closed the Strait of Hormuz, way back in early March, to impose maximum damage on global energy markets. So why has it instead taken 5 months? Well, there are sort of two possible explanations here. The first is that it's possible Iran was essentially keeping an arrow in its quiver to give it an extra bit of leverage in the future, a means to escalate even further and thus deter the US. If this is the case, then it looks like Iran has decided to activate the Houthis, who are widely considered an Iranian proxy, and close the Bab al-Mandab as a sort of response to America's decision to restart the war. The second possible explanation, however, is that the Houthis aren't just doing it for Iran. Rather, the main reason they're closing the Bab al-Mandab is to retaliate against the Saudis. For context, the Houthis and Saudi Arabia have basically been at each other's throats since the Saudis intervened in Yemen's civil war in 2015, after the Houthis ousted the internationally recognized government from Sana'a, Yemen's capital and the largest city. The two sides reached a ceasefire in April 2022, which actually held up remarkably well until earlier this month, when the Houthis opened Sana'a airport to allow an Iranian plane to fly some Houthi officials back to the country, the first direct flight between Yemen and Iran since 2015. The Houthis accused Saudi Arabia of deploying fighter jets to scare the plane off, but it was still ultimately able to land at Sana'a. The Houthis then sort of pushed their luck by using the same plane to fly a Houthi delegation from Sana'a to Tehran to attend the funeral of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Well,
An Iranian plane then flew the delegation back to
and it
Sana'a.
also makes sense why they did the peace agreement, because realistically, Trump needed to buy time.
But this time,
like, dude, do you know how sad this is? Because I had this thought too. Like, let's assume that this is as unserious as Trump usually is about things. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he made these deals to make sure that we didn't focus on the war during July 4th because it's all arbitrary to him. He was just like, I want the 250th anniversary to be great, the grandest of all. And he knew he couldn't have that if everybody was pissed off about the energy prices. So he wanted to get them down, and that was his Hail Mary.
the Saudis decided they'd had enough and attacked Sana'a airport directly, forcing the plane to change course and land in the Red Sea
Now,
port
why
of Hodeidah.
Iran keeps playing this game and letting Trump essentially fucking optically win it within the American borders, like that's a little weird, man. I'll be honest, because like they could definitely make Trump look like a fucking fool at any turn here.
The Houthis then retaliated by firing
Or more
missiles
of a
and
fool, I
drones
should
at
say.
Abha Airport in southern Saudi Arabia last week, bringing the 4-year truce to an abrupt end and threatening to restart Yemen's civil war. Anyway, the point we're trying to make is that whilst these two explanations aren't mutually exclusive and the Houthis are clearly being egged on by Iran, their decision to close the Bab al-Mandab could nonetheless be more about Saudi Arabia than Iran or America. This is, to be fair, how the Houthis have framed it, and explains why they're specifically targeting Saudi traffic. Nonetheless, even if this is how the Houthis want to frame it, it's hard to see how this won't get folded into the wider war, thus threatening to further expand a conflict that's already enveloped most of the region.
Greenland. For decades, it's been viewed as little more than a giant ice sheet on the edge of the world. A massive ice fortress that most of us only ever saw from 30,000 feet on a flight somewhere else. However, that ice is receding, and as it does, the world's superpowers are beginning to move in. At TLDR, we've spent almost 10 years.
That makes sense. I mean, we've been talking about that for a while.
Explaining things from behind a desk, but some stories are too big for our studio. So to understand why this island, and the Arctic more generally, has suddenly become the most valuable real estate on Earth, we had to go there. As you'll soon discover though, this isn't just a political briefing hosted from the cold. We're hiking through the wild, discovering melting icebergs, and uncovering the rusting remnants of secret military projects abandoned in the snow.
Damn.
I think I understood what cold was, but I was lying to myself.
Over 3 episodes, we're asking, what's the big deal with Greenland? From the scramble for rare earth minerals, to the new battlefield for Washington, Beijing, and Moscow. We're camping out
Again, that's why Greenland is so important to Trump.
in the glaciers that are changing our.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, shit. I guess we're done watching this one. All right, let's do the Hassan David Pakman bit.
David Pakman, we're going to watch this. As you guys know, college Democrats invited me. The Republicans are obviously freaking out. Some of these like liberals are freaking out too. And it's really funny because like the idea that I'm not like eating it from both ends here is so funny. Like the notion that people are too afraid to stand up to Hassan is a hilarious take. Prominent liberals yell at me all the fucking time. All right, well, let's see. So David was one of the guys that bit.
Listen to the whole segment before you send me hate mail. You know when it starts that way, it's going to be good. Listen, the Democratic Party is showing the
total speed run today. Eh? I have to, because unfortunately, round 7, I got to take
early
off.
signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican.
Now I have to talk to Arcadian to see if he would like to try to do a show over on this space, but it's really based on if he's up.
Party. I've got so many.
Just remember, guys, he's not he doesn't do content creation, so like, if he's not in the mood, then it's just like
Many friends on the left texting me and saying, David, we're not going to allow the same thing to happen on the left that Trump did to MAGA. That Trump and MAGA did to Republicans, are we? Republicans.
What, you mean winning? Like,
yeah, winning.
I'm sorry.
I've been saying that for a minute here. Like, me and Hassan are on the same page here.
Have an odious worldview on the right. The reactionaries do, right? But the one thing you can't say is they're unsuccessful. Donald Trump literally owns the government, okay? Donald Trump owns the government. Donald Trump almost single-handedly rewrote American politics for the last decade. Every aspect of American politics has changed for the worse because of Donald Trump. So when you say, oh, we can't let these fucking leftists do the same, what are you
this guy a Republican?
saying? Do you disagree with the
yo boy Jake
policies? Is that what you're talking about? He thinks getting everything they campained on in a 6-3 majority is bad because they actually got what they wanted? Perfect Dem influencer. Yeah, like, no.
Are you talking about David Pakman? No, he's also not.
I wish.
He's technically like I guess people would just call him a shitlib.
I wish the Democrats could fight.
Welcome to the channel, man. Appreciate you being here.
Like the Republicans do. But instead of for odious, horrible, repulsive, toxic,
disagree, I don't care. Thank you for being here.
Awful plans, I wish the Democrats would fight like hell for good shit.
Yeah,
Medicare for all. Housing for all. Federal jobs guarantee.
You're Republican? Okay, cool.
So cutting all aid and sanctioning
interesting
Israel,
to me.
holding Israel accountable. Oh no. Oh no, we can't let the Democrats be
Are you like MAGA Republican or like Republican Classic?
too sweet. We can't let the Democrats be too
Are you like one of those America First? I keep forgetting that there's 3 versions now because you got America First, which is essentially ex-MAGA, but still really like they believe they're America First, and they're just like, yeah, we're done with Trump, but we're kind of like we're not part of the old guard. Then you got the MAGA heads, and then you got the old guard.
Successful. What does the
neocons.
Communist Party of China do? 5-year plans.
You like ice?
They
Not all of
write it
it?
out like
Ah.
Babe Ruth. They
I see
call
how it
their shot and they
okay.
swing
I mean,
and
I
they
guess.
do not miss.
Hard to disagree on
Republicans
that
did
one.
the same. They said Project 2025. Here is all of the awful shit that we're gonna do, and then they followed
They
through on
fucking-
it.
Yes, I was just saying this. I was just saying how it's like they are so unfucking shamed of their projects that they fucking will tell us exactly what they're doing, and then they will use us freaking out about it to sell it on their base, and it works.
Horrible. It's
Yep.
awful. It's
Yep.
unbelievably
But
bad.
that's why I do
But
believe,
it-
again, DSA is going to gain traction. DSA is getting some fucking free publicity because every time that one of these Republican shitheads talks about this shit, no disrespect, but for real, once one of like Mike Johnson or one of these guys talks about it, they end up selling it because it realistically, it is good policy.
is successful for their agenda. So yeah, I wish the Democrats would have their own Project 2026,
Yo, what
Project
up,
2028, which featured socialism heavily in it. So no, when you say, oh, we can't let the fucking MAGA style situation take over the Democratic Party, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
we
no, that's
believe
literally what we want. Like, I was talking about Art of War shit where I was just like, okay, we took this long to learn that the Tea Party was actually very effective and to admit it.
The opposite.
We spent the better part of a decade just saying, nah, they weren't that effective, when it's like, yeah, they were.
Things that
they fucking literally took over the Republican Party, which on paper would be a lot harder than taking over the Democratic Party.
They believe. We believe in the opposite things that they believe. We want to advance the opposite things. But if you're going to talk about success, MAGA has been unbelievably successful. Let's continue.
Back in 2010, their leaders laughed at the Tea Party. Conspiracy theorists, they're far-right internet trolls, they're not going to do anything. And then the Tea Party took over local organizations, threatened primaries, built their own media universe, and eventually were part of a process that gave us Donald Trump.
Yes, that's insanely successful.
Is David Pacman in his single dad arc?
Successful. Donald Trump has been unbelievably successful. What are you talking about? All the bad shit he's doing, that's success for the Trump movement, for Trump, for MAGA, okay? We hate it because we have a fucking conscience. They don't. But one thing you can't say is that they're unsuccessful. What the hell?
Thank you.
The left and Democrats can't make the
He's
same
cooking
mistake.
on that
There
one.
is a small group, far left extremists, gaining influence inside youth groups and party organizations because they spend all day online organizing and enforcing ideological purity and attacking anyone who disagrees. Now, let me be very liberal. I am not talking about people who want Medicare
drop.
for all and affordable housing. I want all that stuff. I'm with all that stuff. I'm a social democrat in the style of Northern Europe. Of course I want those things. These are folks who treat political warfare like a full-time job. And when they can't build...
Dude, you're literally a political commentator. What are you talking about? Does David Pacman do something else other than this? This is his job, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. The left is back as they have an agenda. They seek to accomplish that agenda and they're pushing for it. And now, perhaps most terrifyingly, they're winning.
Their own coalition, they attach themselves to popular causes. They take real concerns about healthcare, housing, police misconduct, and use them to sell what is actually an authoritarian worldview. Now, there are things in DSA, for example, Democratic Socialists of America, that are good and that I agree with. But there's also some stuff in there that I think doesn't make any sense. I saw their new platform. Promises a country where you have no debt, you pay no rent, no mortgage, you receive publicly funded housing.
It's fucking awesome.
Publicly funded retirement.
But I will admit that that's putting the cart before the horse. Because if you say that that's the overall goal that again, we need to accomplish and everything leading to that doesn't matter, that's kind of where we end up fucking losing a lot of this. And this is also where this is where the momentum gets killed. This is where I was saying we could have hidden our power level on this one. We kind of all know this is what we want. You don't need to go tell, like, this one is a little harder to sell on people. Like, this is where I will kind of agree with Pacman, at least in the sense that it's like, this is going to be very hard to sell on your average American. This is where I do think that Hassan loses this sometimes. He's so, like, stuck to the DSA stuff, these events, like, and I'm glad that he's going out. His stream is, like, I'm glad that he takes a stream and does this, but I do think he does miss that one thing with normie Americans.
Why won't anybody think about the landlords? Why won't anybody think about the big corporations that are buying out all the fucking readily available housing?
Okay. I'd like to see, like, him actually discuss this with David, though. Like, I think that that would be good, like, programming for both of them.
Okay, here's the thing. It's good to have ideals and a goal that you are setting out ahead of time. Here's the question. Why don't you like that final goal that we should move towards is the real question. Because, like, you could just be like, how do we accomplish it? Fine. That's okay. That's a healthy and productive conversation that we can have. But if you just cut it down to be like, dude, fucking what? Like, public housing? Gross. Then that just comes across like you are just in opposition to a thing that exists in those same Nordic-style social democracies that you just started off defending. Like, can you imagine being like, oh, public housing? Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. It's like, I want social democracy. Okay, well, they have public housing. So it turns out maybe you don't like some of the fucking social democratic policies. Like, which type of social democracy are we talking about, right? Because many of them have that. Many of them have this. We should have it too. Yeah. And as far as debt, like debt abolition, we have a real problem with debt. That's unironically a huge working class issue. Yeah. It's actually pretty reliable that DSA has identified that as a major problem that they are seeking to solve. Debt abolition was a pivotal plank of the Biden campaign. Student loan debt abolition. He said he was going to.
Yeah, but they're saying blanket debt abolition. This is where you get your average person just being like, so what's that mean? Like, that means that I'm not able to get a loan in the first place? How's this work?
Do that. He ran on it. He tried to do it. He dropped it. So this is why I get very frustrated when I hear from people who are like, I'm a social democrat, but I think the DSA platform is untenable. It's like, well, okay. So I guess you're not a social democrat because the DSA platform, at least like a lot of the stuff that they're presenting here, already exists in some way, shape, or form in social democracies, or were advanced by, ironically enough, socialists in the past, and therefore it's not really that big of an issue in other countries. Like debt is a major one. Democratic Socialists of America, with like some exceptions thus far, have not run a single candidate that has run on anything but social democracy, because that is what is achievable in the short term.
Food, education, energy, medicine, transportation. And it sounds incredible because it is incredible. How would they create it? Government ownership of the largest corporations and of entire industries. Universal.
Again, literally exists in social democracies. Norway owns the entirety of the extract.
No, but this is where like he's conflating like the energy sector and like the private sector.
Industry.
I understand kind of, again, I'm not advocating for what David's saying, but this is where Hassan's kind of misappropriating this.
It's completely nationalized.
Yeah.
My man started off by saying, I love social democracy. I'm a social democrat. And then literally looked at the DSA social democracy line and went agenda item by agenda item and said, I fucking hate all this shit. Hello? Yeah, Switzerland owns its entire electrical grid and production. Bro, the Tennessee Valley Authority, we have this in America. We have publicly funded public housing in America too. Like, we can expand on the existing social democratic policies that exist in the United States of America. That's what's so fucking crazy about this. You don't even need to go to Norway. But these guys love posting about Norway. What the hell?
Rent control, abolishing police and prisons, and abolishing the Senate, and replacing our political system.
Like, the abolishing police. I'm not in favor of police abolition, okay? But I understand where these guys are coming from. And it doesn't matter because I'm not crazy. Okay, I don't spend a good deal of time being like, I can't believe some of them said abolish police. What the fuck? Like, I'm not losing.
Well, hold on. This is hard to disagree on that because this is where I keep saying, no, that's literally stifling the movement, though. by having a bunch of shitheads going out there saying, well, abolish the police when it's not realistic. But that's what the opposition always focuses on, and it has traction. This is what I don't like about these arguments, is they pretend that it doesn't have traction. Then, sure as shit, they did this with trans in sports. They literally did this with trans in sports, where they put it on the back burner for so fucking long that all of a sudden now it's still dominating the fucking right-wing airwaves. Every time that I have a fucking shithead in here, like some shithead troll, they will bring it to that.
Just sleep over it, okay?
No. It's not about losing sleep over it, but it's about saying, hey, no, especially Hassan's voice. Come on, dude. Can you just say, no, that's stupid. This is what I don't like. He has to fucking kids gloves this shit, and then they take that as just him being like, well, I get he thinks it's okay, right? Well, no. And that's where they're going to, they are going to put this on Hassan and be like, well, Hassan said that he technically believes in police abolition.
Okay. Some of these ideas are reasonable to a degree.
No, it's not about right-wing framing. It is how people react to right-wing framing, specifically the people that are not right-wingers. The left always takes the bait, and the middle always takes the bait. This is where you do, like, they do win with this one.
Agree, for example.
Sylvie, stop ignoring the fact that they actually win with this shit.
I support universal health care, and I've talked about 4 or 5 ways that we could get to it. I want affordable housing, and I've done a dozen interviews with housing experts on what would and wouldn't work.
We're living through the Tea Party winning. Like he already went through this. We're living through it.
To get us there. I support progressive.
And I was told at that time that there's no fucking way.
Taxation. We need to collect more taxes from the very rich. Voting rights have been hurt in this country.
Police reform, not abolishment. Yes.
We need police reform. There's elements of
this
that are great, and any social democrat like me will tell you we got to do that.
How many times do I have to say this where it's just like people would rather lead with their emotions and then attach it to some fucking campaign that it's just like, yeah, I want the bumper sticker. I want the t-shirt. I want it all. But then they don't realize that it's like, you do understand that this did way more damage than it helped, right?
Do that. But you bundle it together and
like defund the police was a loss. Just fucking count it as that. We lost on that one. We lost on the messaging. They fucking won. The police got more money. They got more support from the American right. Like, come the fuck on.
This fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply
Rebecca, I'll see you later.
Disappear. Most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand.
Just remember, later stream tomorrow.
That there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism. My one hesitation.
Wait, what are we imposing with extraordinary?
You got to do that. But you bundle it together, and this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear.
I mean, you're just describing laws. You're describing a policy agenda that you disagree with without actually explaining what you disagree with on the policy agenda. And you're just simply saying people oppose it and you want to be authoritarian. Yeah, okay. How is it any different than when fucking libertarians say, oh, taxation is theft? Yes, public ownership of key sectors is authoritarianism, I guess. But guess what? Many other social democracies do this because it's good, okay? I'm sure there was a point in time when the motherfucking private profiteers of the fire departments, the private fire brigades were really frustrated. The local governments came down on them and authoritarian style took over and said, nah, we got to do.
But in today's world, they would have their own lobby.
This has got to be a public service. Sorry.
Let's be real.
They were like, no.
Most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism.
Yeah, I hate the extraordinary authoritarianism of the fucking postal service and the fire department, even the fucking police department and public schools. I hate.
How many fucking times have I said this?
That. We need to stop with this authoritarianism. Dude, are you a libertarian? No. Are you an anarcho-capitalist? No. So obviously there's a level of authoritarianism that you're actually comfortable with, right? I thought you were far more open to the level of authoritarianism presented by the likes of FDR, or even presented in countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland, and many of these other places that social democrats love to point to and say we should do the same thing that they have over there. But now, when DSA is putting out a platform that's identical to the things that already exist in these other social democracies,
stifling voices, Sylvie. No, I'm asking them to do better with their fucking messaging.
To a certain degree, you're like that.
But they already made the banner, so they want to fight. They want to fight you.
That's authoritarianism. So apparently, you're not in favor of that.
That's how it comes across to me.
But this is also ideologically inconsistent. because there are certain things that I know he's defended. There are certain things that I know he's defended, whether it be Medicare for all or numerous other policies like that. That's authoritarianism. Medicare for all, universal health care is authoritarian by that exact same principle that you're mentioning.
I mean, if you're going based on the definition that David Pakman's using in this.
About confronting this now and why I went back and forth is
this was a question I asked David Pakman a very long time ago. I said, you understand inelastic demand. You love, Econ 101. He said, yes. I said, for that reason, you're in favor of Medicare for all. He said, yes. Or universal health care. He said, yes, inelastic demand.
You're a communist Marxist? No, I'm not.
Man. So why don't you apply that same principle to housing? Housing is shelter.
But you hear that, Sylvie?
Shelter.
Sorry, no, I was being a dick there.
There's a necessity for survival. There's inelastic demand for shelter in the same exact way that there's inelastic demand for healthcare. He had no answer for it. This is the whole reason behind why government-funded housing initiatives has to exist, to normalize the market, for example. The market is completely out of control. It's not a secret. Every other country that has some semblance of public housing has a way higher rate of ownership, home ownership, as opposed to the United States of America.
Midterms. Publicly exposing the rot could make moderate voters think the entire Democratic Party has been
not likely
affected. But I don't think silence is really going to hide it. I saw a crazy thing from the weekend where there was a college Democrats convention, which I was actually invited to participate in, and I couldn't make it. Hassan Piker was dressed like Mao, and
dude, this is Fox.
Why do you do that though? The thing is, why do that? Why even do it? Like, if you knew that this was going to become a thing, the tan suit thing, then why do it? And then not address it in a way that it literally like comes off as you addressing the joke or like the fucking, the tongue-in-cheek aspect of it.
Fox News, brother.
Like, I'll be honest, man. Like, this is the shit that pisses me off about Hassan, where it's like he doesn't see that. He didn't see that actually like having more impact on the news, or I don't know. Did he think he would actually make an impact and get more coverage? I kind of feel that way.
What is happening? What is happening? This is tan suit, Fox News style. It's literally a Chinese suit, brother. Do you disagree with the things that I said in the College Democrats of America speech that I delivered? Did you watch the speech? Did you disagree with the things that I said in the speech? That is the question, okay? Hyper-focusing on the Zhongshan suit is unbelievably silly, and you would make 17,000 fucking videos if the Republicans were doing it to somebody else, okay?
Yeah, but this was an easy thing to fucking not have happen. Had you just, I don't know, gone in the suit you're wearing right now.
Republicans were doing this to a
You're surprised by this? Like, motherfucker, they're already trying to say you're a Maoist. Like, fuck off.
Interest them.
God damn it, dude. This is my point. This is literally my point. He wants to sit here acting, well, I grew up. I wear a suit now when I do my stream, but I still don't know how to fucking really anticipate a situation being used against me.
You're
one of the fucking largest streamers on the planet. You're telling me that you don't put that little extra thought in before you go up on fucking stage? Like, Jesus fuck.
Would make a million.
Yeah. And most people attribute Mao to hardcore Chinese communism, which most people don't even want to hear about because most people don't care.
In video,
most people just want to. It's this simple. It's this fucking simple. Most people just want to be told how you're going to make their life better. They don't want all this performative shit. They don't care if you're a Marxist. They don't care if you're a Maoist. They don't care.
About it. Like, this is ridiculous. Yes, dude. Yes.
You're the only people that do. I don't fucking care.
Deng Xiaoping also wore it, and liberals love him, so they should love this.
His Destiny tried to show up, and he was banned from entering allegedly because the Mao-dressed Piker didn't want him there.
That's a
Clip is right here. Hey, a rarity.
Crazy thing to do, by the way. Those guys literally filmed themselves with their intent to disrupt an event that they were not invited to. They filmed the entire process. There's videos of it everywhere.
Hassan's the one literally platforming it, Sylvie.
Okay? That's crazy. Come on, man. We've always had our disagreements, but I've always been cordial because David's been cordial. This is
hard disagree on this one. Move on.
Definitely. I don't think David, I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think David knows the extent of the madness presented.
For nothing. It's not for nothing. I'm literally pointing out how optics work. If you guys want to continue to ignore how optics work and how marketing actually works and how people respond to this shit, then don't engage with politics because you don't understand how politics work if you do not notice how this is how it works. This is what they use to actually gain power.
By this.
But yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Cult. Okay. I'm going to be charitable and I'm going to say that because if he did.
Yeah, without recognizing how he could have done better, without recognizing that he might have fucked up.
If he did.
Instead, he's literally placating to the people that already agree with him. This is where I'm saying an objective opinion on this would be like, I don't give a shit about the suit. I don't fucking care. If it was for style, I don't care. But if it could be literally implied that he was somehow trying to do performative Maoism, then fucking leave it at home.
He probably would not be defending this.
Republicans are going to put these clips everywhere. People seem crazy when they see this stuff, and they are
really. They did.
It's kind of minor, but this is the thing with Hassan where he does tend to do this.
They did put
and then he sits there shocked Pikachu face when he's just like, look, people are mad.
Clips everywhere. We saw on Facebook, people fucking seemingly loved how stupid it was. They did this exact same thing.
It's not wise how Hassan LARPs with aesthetics from historical dictatorships. Yep.
To Fox News. Oh, another Tansu controversy. So why don't...
But I'm the one who's platforming it. It's me who's making it a bigger problem than it actually is.
You feel that way. That the Republicans...
It's not a good troll job, though, Natch.
Republicans are manufacturing outrage again.
The troll literally doesn't work when they weaponize it against us politically.
Republicans manufacture outrage professionally. Perhaps it's because you also...
Very successfully, I might add.
Not dissimilar to the Republicans, find my kind of politics to be repulsive, bad. Perhaps there's a disagreement here that goes beyond...
I don't care about the explanation. The fact is, it's the optics.
Reason from your perspective. I don't know what it's about.
I genuinely don't give a shit.
Has a lot to do with foreign policy, because that was the one major avenue of disagreement between myself and David Pacman, whether it be Bolivia.
Sorry, he ain't Teflon like that.
Numerous other instances where he took a State Department adjacent position.
I agree more than you think.
I did not.
No, I appreciate it.
To abolish the police and abolish borders and abolish prisons and play them on a loop for 6 months.
I didn't say that. I didn't say abolish borders on that speech.
I were an average voter.
Just like Bavino wearing the trench coat. Yep.
With no knowledge of these online personalities, which most of these people are. Most people don't follow this sort of thing. They're busy living their lives and working and doing all this stuff. If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, I would find these images and...
No, it's not a good troll job, but also Hassan leans into the entire repulsive trolling. Yeah, it's also kind of, that's silly.
A lot of this stuff very alarming. So as I said last week, and so many of you agreed with me, Democrats must act now and intelligently. The centrists don't really do anything, make very milquetoast fringe suggestions that you don't even really push for. Not working, okay? This other thing of end everything, it's a sort of destructive accelerationism, that's also not gonna work. So I think that what we need here are no apologetics for dictatorship, no apologetics for authoritarianism, no harassment, no anti-Semitism, no allowing online factions to decide which liberals may enter the room. Would I even have been allowed at that college Democrats thing? They invited me months ago. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't go.
I would assume that if they invited you to it, you would be invited.
Find out. So we just
what? That was weird.
Normal people to participate, join local committees, attend conventions, get involved with state parties, and let's turn the DNC into something that works. Many reasonable people doing
you can laugh at optics, but you're also losing on optics too. This is why ICE is not doing well as far as the optics with America.
Little can defeat both the
This is where I will just say both parties can ignore the optics of things to their own fucking detriments, because you know what? That's just being so far up your own ass that you're not recognizing what's right in front of you.
Do-nothings and the hardcore extremists who would get...
Bro. Oh, yeah, bro, you were invited. Clearly, they don't fucking hate liberals. What do you mean?
Yeah.
The idea that the young college Democrats
at least had that opinion.
The college Democrats of America is
dude, come on.
Radical fucking organization is ridiculous. You were invited to it.
I agree with that. That's David trying to make it worse than it actually is for him.
You chose not to go. You had other obligations. That's fine. But very clearly, it's not a anti-liberal space at all. It's not an illiberal space at all. There's many different ideologies, and sucks for you that, my worldview is also being represented more and more within the Democratic Party.
That's nice.
Nothing done. Republicans believed they were going to control the extreme.
David Pacman, I also do think that this is him, feeling left out. I'm not sure, I think that this was Emma talking about this a little bit, but she even said, she has no idea where Pacman actually falls on politics anymore. A lot of it just seems to be him maintaining his channel and that he'll just like say whatever to maintain that. But then he fucked up with his Israel stances. So now he's like starting to fucking like panic and he doesn't really know like where to go as far as his audience capture.
Extremists. They were like,
because I don't think he was ever progressive. Let's be real.
Nah, we got these people under control. The extremists took over the party. Democrats can still.
I love how much of a centrist he is that he's trying to create a second center. He's like, no, I don't like the centrists either, but we got to find
No, that's kind of how I interpreted this, where it's just like, dude, wait a minute. So now you're shitting on centrists? What?
Center between.
It's like, wait a minute. I thought you were a centrist.
The centrist and the left, the extreme left.
Yeah, no, full disclosure, I watched the David Pakman video earlier, but I didn't watch Hassan's
that outcome
reaction to
but
it.
We've got to get them to get things under control right now. I've said before, I've never been a Democrat. I don't care about the Democratic Party beyond who offers the better candidate. And usually it's Democrats over Republicans. But we've got to make sure that we don't.
Is that him really trying to be like, I'm technically farther left? Yeah, no, dude. You toe the line. What are you talking about?
Allow that party, if it is the vessel,
My God.
at least for
Okay,
now,
so you
to
agree
something
with
better
healthcare for all, but that's pretty much it.
than what Republicans are offering, to be hijacked.
This is what I have to say to David.
What gives?
What gives? All right, that was a good drop. All right. Man, this show went by fast. Pac-Man is as lib as you can be. That's kind of what I was thinking, man. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're, because he didn't even try to frame it as like he is even progressive. Like, I don't know. Like, David Pac-Man really is just a fucking, yeah. He's an anomaly here. And the nice part is, like, most of us on the left, like, we understand this. Like, I unsubbed from him a few years ago at this point, right? Like, it was right around October 7th. Like, I remember he, like, would not stop. And I finally had it. And, oh, no, I remember it was when he was condemning the Majority Report and people, like, calling it a genocide. That, I remember, like, exactly. That was the episode where I was just like, I am done with this guy. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. The things, like, Jesse Dollemore is the, like, one friend he has that I would say, like, as far as, like, Pac-Man connection, he's still cool. But yeah, I can't stand Luke Beasley. Like, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't stand Luke Beasley because it always seemed like he was trying to do an impression of David Pac-Man, which was weird. It was just really, really weird. It's like, okay, so now you're just going to copy his inflection, like, entirely? Yeah, his October 7th was one of the worst. That guy is sideways, yeah. He's radically centrist. Dollemore and Pac-Man? I don't know. Dollemore, I don't question his politics as much. But the other side of this is where I was kind of saying, like, the clicky bullshit. Like, all that happens when we, like, say, I can't like David Pac-Man or his audience, or I would never engage with a David Pac-Manite. Like, fuck off. If you guys are going to do this thing where you're just, like, going to be so, like, stringent in your belief system and, like, specifically with your politics to the point where you ignore people that will vote for your candidate or vote for your policies, then you're an asshole. And you need to reevaluate how you engage in politics. Because what we need right now are people to fucking engage with us and actually vote for the things that we want. Online performative bullshit, that's great, but we need that at the fucking polls. I don't know if half of the fucking engagement that I get from the left is bots. I genuinely don't know. I don't even know if Sylvie's a bot, to be completely real. I'm just kidding. I mean, if I'm being real, I don't. Like, I've never actually met you face to face. I'm going to assume just based in the way we engage that you're not. But realistically, guys, you want my fucking hard stance on this? That's it. Fucking quit being assholes. Like, and seriously, start engaging with people that, like, even if they are on the center, stop with this fucking, I can't deal with centrists. Well, then you're a baby. Fucking deal with centrists. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to actually fucking politically engage with people in a way that you don't turn them off immediately. You're in voice chat every other day, but no one stops by. I'll be honest, I only really check Discord when I know I kind of need to, or I'm kind of like on the shitter. So, Pep, I think this point you're making often gets lost. We are in an online bubble here. Normie outreach is important, and you have experience on how to do it. Yep. Yeah, Pep wants us to grow. Intriguing. Yeah, no, I know. It's weird. It's weird. No, because, like, I understand this. Like, I understand because I was a Christian. I get it. I fucking get it. Like, when I was in missions, do you understand how often I would have this happen? Where all of a sudden, like, I would go into, like, I would go into it good faith, literally, and I would just be like, hey, listen, you know, can you just give me the time of day? Like, we would like to... And, like, we had some people that were really in their face about, like, how if, like, you live in sin, therefore you must be saved. Like, they would go to a gay, like, the gay community and say this shit. Whereas I would always just be like, hey, you heard about, like, Jesus is pretty cool. And you know what? He's actually very forgiving. So, like, you don't have to be perfect. I know that they're trying to, like, I had this problem within my own religion where I was like, you guys are pushing people away from this just with your demeanor alone. Because you guys keep doing this thing where you're like, you're going to hell! You're going to hell! You live in sin! You're going to hell! I'm not going to hell. I've been saved. Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like me? Well, that's how I view this thing, where it's just like, I found Karl Marx. I found leftism. I found communism. I'm a better leftist than you. You guys can't never tell me how to be from the center. Pep with the Christian tactics? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's literally like how I used, like, and then I got told how, like, I was actually wrong. How, no, you need to tell them how they sin, because that is what, I got told this once, where I needed to, like, hammer the sins because then they would go home and they would just sit with that. And, like, and it's like, eventually that would lead them to the church instead of actually trying to just be like, hey, well, I'll see you next Sunday. I had more people even say, like, hey, man, I really appreciate the way that you treated me. Like, maybe I'll check it out. Because, like, the way that I also would break it down, again, I would market my church where I'd be like, dude, my church has a badass band. Like, our band was great. They really were. They were actually really, really good. My janitor, he was in that band. But realistically, I was always like, dude, like, come and check it out. And more people responded to the way that I was handling it than anybody else. So you could argue I was more successful in missions than anybody else at that point. I was the best. I was the best at missions. I was bringing them in. Don't worry, Pep. I can't be perfect for everybody. Latino, you're going to have to keep that up for all of us. We depend on your perfection. God, I can go on this rant for another hour, but the cool janitor, yeah, he was so sweet. That was cool to have a janitor where it's just like, you mind? Like, and he would just kind of pop the back door open, and I'd just be like, yeah. He'd also hand me like the Ozium. He was the one that told me about Ozium. He's just like, use this. Pep using honey when everybody else is using vinegar. Well, again, I get it. Because you're coming from this place of adversity in your mind. So you're like, a lot of people, it's almost the bully tactic where it's like you're taking your negativity and like the things that you've dealt with and you're externalizing it. So you're very rigid in your belief system, and you cannot be like, again, it's like, it's hard to get challenged on it. Then it's very hard to tell somebody that their approach to something is wrong. Like, dude, I've had this. You know how many times I've even had it in this chat where one of you guys said, Pep, you were going a little too hard on that one. Or Pep, you were out of pocket on that shit. I will revise and then go, yeah, you know what? My bad. This is the difference. And this is what I'm saying. I don't see it a lot from the other sides. I don't see it coming from other people. And this goes all the way back to when I used to do this for the church. And you know what I learned how to do? I learned how to let that shit go. Because I was just like, fuck it, man. If, like, I'm not going to beat my head against a wall trying to convince somebody of something that they don't want to be convinced of. Like, that's not worth my time. I'm sorry. Pep, in my opinion, you need to make it clear about that you're talking about strategy here and not the person's people's personal ethics. Yes, that is, yeah, okay. That's where I guess I could be clear on that. Yeah, it's all about strategy. Yeah, the personal ethics aside, like, that is kind of it. Like, it's just learning how to fucking, prioritize your messaging and all that. But, I think that this is where I keep saying, cast a wide net. But I feel like most people are like, they got this tiny little net, like a toy-sized net, and they're just like, there, I got what I wanted. It's just like, what? It's PR. Again, a lot of people don't understand PR. Like, I don't know why this is an exclusive leftist problem, where they're so adverse to even hearing the term marketing, PR, any of these things, like, because it's a reality. It just is a fucking reality. And you're going to need to engage in this reality to win at politics. So you have to start acknowledging, okay, we failed at this message, we failed at this message, and we probably could have retooled this one to bring more people in. Please make a video about this. I'll try. I mean, as I said, I'm not great at breaking down like these videos. I'm more of an off-the-cuff guy. I'll try, though. I was a liberal until I understood the structural imbalances of power inherent in capitalism and their negative consequences. Yeah. I mean, so it made me a socialist. What made me a socialist is realizing that me being a communist would be dumb because I'm never going to see it at all. Like, if I want to fight for something, I want to fight for the things that will lead us to that. So I have always said this. If if communism happens, cool. I get to see it in my lifetime and I get to see if it works or not. But realistically, I believe in the actual ideas behind democratic socialism, and I think that we can obtain that by the time I'm 50. Like, that's 10 years from now. I have a feeling we can do that. I would love to think that we can do that. God, 10 years I'm going to be 50. That's fucking nightmare fuel right there. But, okay, guys, I just realized I have been rambling for a little bit too long. All right, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Pepaganda tonight. I have to have a talk with a friend to see if they might want to do it. If they don't, then no Pepaganda today. So it's more of a, if it shows up, it shows up. Yay. But I will 1000% be on tomorrow. We got the panel show. It's going to be fun. We do have the returning cast, so this should be interesting. Oh yeah, I should probably just address. So yeah, last night made some things public. Yeah, a little awkward. But I did talk to Alex. Everything's cool. We're on the same page now. That was one of those times where I was like, yes, I appreciate whoever said. I think it was Natch that you were just like, I'm gonna just say it. I think that this could have been handled in private. It's not how I do things. It's also not how you, like, dude, again, like, if I accidentally get into, like, a online beef over something, oh my God, we have engaging content that will actually bring people in because there's two people not getting along that, is just something that people inherently love watching, is people not getting along. What time are you going to start streaming tomorrow, Pep? Probably around 7 or 8. I might be on time. We'll see. I'm a guess either 7 or 8 though, because we're restarting our D&D campaign, so I have to I got to make my character, and I'm not entirely sure if that's going to, take up a lot of time or not. That's kind of the thing. But yeah, you guys can just mark it. The biggest thing that you guys can do is make sure that your notifications are on. Also, over on Twitch, just so you guys know, I will be doing the exclusive Friday wrap-up. That's kind of how I think that's how I'm gonna label this. It's like my wrap-up show. The weekly wrap. Ooh, that's what we'll call it. The Twitch weekly wrap-up. I like that. So we will be doing the Twitch weekly wrap up. That's a little hard to... Ooh, tongue twister. Not great. Mifune, I just don't commit to any specific left ideology. That's kind of like, honestly, that's how I've been for a while, because like I'll hear some ideas that I agree with and don't agree with on things. And this is what I don't understand is like, again, the religion aspect of this, where it's like the inability to look at what you believe, and like, again, the rigid nature in which you are unwilling to bend your ideas to talk to somebody to get them on the same page as you. Like, I can't tell you how many times I did that as a Christian, where I'd just be like, yeah, you know what? Like, Jesus would probably not care about, you know, gay people. He would probably, like, I remember having that discussion talking about how Jesus would be at the gay clubs because he would, especially if they were like actual sinners, because he'd be like, no, I'm trying to convert the sinners. Like, every fucking evangelical Christian thinks that Jesus would be some robed, gilded motherfucker that just always is just like, I love you guys. I like Donald Trump, like, and always just like, aren't I great? I am the Messiah. I am amazing. Like, they think that's Jesus. Where I've been making this joke for a while that it's like, dude, like, there's a good chance that they fucking accidentally shot Jesus at the border. I've studied everything from far right through far left. I'm glad I did. Again, the weirdest part is I've never actually been a right winger. Even in my like Christian days, I was never a right winger. Like, when I was reading the Bible, I always had this sense of like wanting to take care of people. I've always wanted to try and take care of people. I've always wanted better outcomes for everybody around me, because I realize that when other people are happy like that, I'm a lot happier. I also noticed that a lot of people, like, when they were miserable, I was miserable. So I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to have this weird empathy thing, then I want to make sure that people have it good. But that's, like I said, man, like I ran into this problem when I was a Christian a lot, where people would just be like, hey, you know, Jesus, like, I kind of made the joke, but I'm not kidding. Like, they would say like Jesus's vengeance. Like, they would use terms like Jesus's and God's vengeance. It's like, what? How can you even like let that phrase like leave your mouth? Like, what? That's the antithesis of Christianity. Literally, Jesus, he was all about forgiveness, not vengeance, not wrath. Like, what? That was the whole thing with the new covenant. But again, they needed to fit their fucking narrative that no, Jesus would not welcome the sinners. Jesus would lock it down, brother. Like, ay. Also, Dennis, what's up, dude? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. You guys are kind of, I hate to say this, like, you guys are kind of at the back end of stream here. Not back end, or like we're at the end of stream. I'm ending early today. I was just waiting for the 420 coming up here, and then I will be leaving you guys. Unfortunately, they make you study the whole political spectrum when you take up social sciences as a discipline. I mean, I did like a lot of poli-sci study, but I never actually took like a poli-sci class. I remember getting like really interested in that when I was in broadcasting, though, because I realized how much politics actually did impact broadcasting. Like, when you learn about the FCC, it is kind of crazy. Like, you're just like, Jesus, like, censorship laws are insane. Like, damn. I was writing a thesis on Habermas. That was the end of my patience. Political science is just modern theory until they teach you how to do statistical analysis. Well, again, I also think that, like, this is where I was trying, like, my broader point today was that for some reason there's this like weird thing that we do on the left where we just do not recognize that we're being so rigid in our arguments that we do lose the plot. It's literally just, we lost the plot. You know what I mean? Pep, one of them Christian nationalists, said, love thy neighbor was liberal propaganda. Yeah, no. That's, see, like, my church would have been that, where they would have been like, that's liberal propaganda. Or like, I had a teacher that told me like, no, Jesus would have been a Republican. I'm like, what? Like, I remember discussing like with him the concept of a bullet. And I was just like, okay, if you explain just the concept of not even the gun, the bullet to Jesus, what do you think he would say? And he just sat there silently because it's like, you know damn well that if you explain why that was made and why it was so compact, Jesus will look at you and just be like, why? Krutz, or Krugitz, how's it going, man? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. I'm just wrapping up the stream here, so if you have not already, consider following. Also, if you guys have not already subbed to the stream, please do so, and we're going to celebrate the 420. Going to head on out, and then possibly Pepaganda. We'll see. Okay, I'm strongly influenced by pragmatism. Same. I mean, I try to be. Like, the problem is, I can also admit, like, when I'm not being pragmatic. I can see, like, when I'm being too rigid in my own like ideology. But this is also where like people will in bad faith say like, oh, he's wishy-washy, oh, he's a fence sitter, oh, he doesn't commit to anything, which is bullshit. I've had that one lobbed at me recently. Where it's like, you don't even believe in anything. I'm just like, excuse me? Which that's so insulting coming from like the fact that I have literally gotten 2 death threats now doing this. I constantly get fucking either dox threats or fucking DOSed. I get fucking constantly threatened in chat. But yeah, I lack conviction in my beliefs. All right, guys. But with that, my desk is moving so bad. Oh, man. By the way, my desk broke again, so I'm going to have to fix that. Alrighty. Can I raid this space? Hold on, guys. This is not... Wait, is this space not live? Oh, there we go. I have to say, whoa, that scared the crap out of me. I couldn't find it. I mean, people who hold no convictions in their views also get death threats online, so... Yeah, Sylvie, that's exactly why I get death threats online. Sylvie, can you ever admit when you're wrong? I think that, you know what? Yeah, I'm calling it. Have a good one, guys. You're really coughing tonight. Are you okay? Yes, Scoob Dog. I'm just fine. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my evening here. Sorry for getting unchill. I was just saying that these aren't the reasons to show you hold convictions. That's my secret, Mr. Stark. I'm always wrong. Fun. Yes, that's... Nat, you nailed it. Because there are things that everyone gets. Yeah, sure it is. Okay. All right, Sylvie. Alrighty, guys. Love y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Who the heck is PepTalks? I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. PepTalks. 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 Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. PepTalks. PepTalks. Who the heck is PepTalk? They want our women. They want our children.
Pep Talks.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the pep talk. Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
Pep Talks.
I'm literally coming. I'm literally coming.
Pep Talks.
We found weapons of mass destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from Pep Talks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good night, everybody.